Hey, beautiful people. Good evening. Welcome back to our live show. How's everyone doing? You guys are really interested in this subject today because the activity in the comment section. Oh my God. There's so much activity going on here. Even before I came on, you guys are more punctual than me. Oh dear. This is me thinking that I know how to make time. I salute to now plenty. Can you hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me in the comment section. Just say yes if you can hear me. Yeah, you're welcome. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yes. Waiting for confirmation that you can hear me. Lady Love. Okay, Gigi Gibson says, okay, you can hear me. Brilliant. Excellent. So lovely, lovely, lovely to see you guys tonight. Have you hit the subscribe button? Have you given this video a like? I want to believe that people are giving this video likes before they come in. Eh? I don't want to, I don't want to make this a subscription only, but a lot of people are coming here to collect wisdom for their own life, for their relationships and things without subscribing. If you guys don't like and subscribe, I'm going to make it subscribed fans only. Only those who subscribe will be able to see because you guys are collecting counseling every day free of charge. You're not paying. It's free. The wisdom that we are dropping here every day. All I ask is subscribe, like, and share. Lobaton is free of charge, yet our people will not subscribe. But now they come here, come steal information, come learn something. Haba. Ohun tí ò dá ò dá. Ohun tí ò dá ò dá. Make una no dey do like that. More than subscribe. It's free. Anyway, I welcome you all special tonight. Please hit the like button. Make sure that your notification bell is on. We are back live. Yeah. In time we're gonna make it subscribe fans only. I don't want to do that, but but I know they agree subscribe, so we might do that. You guys know that I love you and I want people to learn, but some of our people know they agree. They are not they don't know how to share. They don't know how to share. And you go watch waka go collect wisdom only to subscribe. You know, go subscribe. Waiting. So if you cannot give something that is free, then how can you give anything else? It's free of charge. Now, wow, it is well. Anyway, you're welcome. I've got a guest tonight, and I'm sure you guys know. And her name is Easy. Easy peasy. She's come here to tell us a very compelling story of her life. Okay. And she's going to be talking to us about how desperation, serious desperation to marry. You know how in Africa, once you start getting to 30, it's an unwritten code. There's nowhere that they wrote it that 30 is the age to marry or before 30, but once you start getting to 30, anxiety will start building up. People will start asking, church member, everybody, society, even you start pressuring yourself that you have to marry, you have to marry, you have to marry. Pressure to marry. And she actually said she was desperate. Landed her in hot soup. So Izzy is coming to share with us. She's here in the studio. And before I bring Izzy on, I just want to please appeal to you to be respectful. We are a very loving family. Love is our language here. We do not tolerate abuse. Please respect my guest. Respect her. This is her experience, it's not yours. Listen and take what you will from it. Encourage her, support her, but please do not leave any negative, nasty comment. We block negative people. We block negative people on this channel. You don't tolerate any negativity at all. It's all about love and providing the support that is needed. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. I see you all. Yeah, you're welcome. So now let's introduce Easy. Hello, Easy.
Hello, Auntie B.
You are welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You are a special guest. One thing I like about you is your level of confidence. Most times when I have guests, I have to kind of, try to encourage them, support them, do one or two things to make sure. But you, the way you speak, you are like a senator. You are like a senator.
Auntie B, you're
You
making
speak
me blush.
the way you and you see this girl, she is beautiful. Wow. Why is it beautiful girls that always suffer from abuse? Why? I don't understand. When I saw her picture, I was like, is this you? She said, yes. Has it you, this fine girl? Child. Anyway, Easy, you're welcome.
Thank you, Auntie B.
So you're going to tell us about yourself and why we are here tonight. You want to testify to the glory of God and you also want to share about your life. Tell me before we begin, why do you want to share this story about yourself?
I want to share my story because I want to be an encouragement to women who are in abusive relationships or women who are older and are under pressure to make decisions, especially about partners and marriage. Basically, desperate women or women in that mindset. And just to tell them, don't do it. You're going to get yourself into hot soup. If you
Right.
don't do the self work, you need to find yourself, love yourself, and then you will not be a target for narcissists and people who abuse women because they have a skill for targeting desperate women. They can
Mm,
smell you from the way sharks smell blood. They can smell
mm,
you from afar.
right. So if you are not married here tonight, today is your lucky day. You better subscribe if you don't subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to make sure I will block you from this story. Oh, so you subscribe now to listen to Easy. This is her life experience. No joke. Talking seriously now. So Easy, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be in this relationship that we are talking about today.
Okay. So what I'll first say is that I first want to say that people with low self-esteem and desperate women, like I said earlier, are targets for narcissists and abusive men. I also want to say the worst time to look for a relationship is when you are suffering from psychological or emotional issues such as depression, grief, bereavement, or just basically, and that's the worst time to look because your picker will not be right and you will become you're vulnerable and abusers look for vulnerable people.
Hmm.
Another thing I want to say is that individuals with trauma and emotional abuse are more likely to be trapped in a narcissistic relationship
Hmm.
because they don't have good judgment. People who are normal and whole, people who are stable and whole, will see the signs quickly and exit. But people who have suffered trauma and have not healed from the trauma and emotional abuse will be trapped there and will not be able to, they won't know the signs and even to come out, it's going to be hard for them. That's why it's very important to find yourself and know yourself and love yourself so that you are not a target for this. Because once you enter, at least I got by God's grace, God, I was fortunate I came out. For some other women, it was worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Spoken like a woman who's been through the fire, like gold. She's come out refined. Wow. So tell us about your background and how you met this person. So we can have a little bit of
Okay.
knowledge about how this whole thing came about.
Okay. Um, well, I would first like to trace it back to my childhood and why it is very important for women to be confident and remove their children from this kind of abusive family situations because that was what brought me to this situation. I was conditioned unbeknownst to me because my father abused my mom
Mm,
and I witnessed it. I still have the memories. They were unearthed in therapy recently, as far back as when I was 6. These memories were etched into these visions were etched into my memory. And even though nobody wants to be in repeat evil history, unfortunately, because of how the enemy works, I just kept attracting people
Mm.
who did this thing to me. So
Mm.
the last one I came up with was the tip of the iceberg. I have constantly been in physically abusive and emotionally abusive relationships. Constantly. I always pick men who do those things to me. And even if they were good, they would change and do that thing to me. It was a pattern, you know. So I witnessed that growing up. And then despite that, my childhood was pretty normal and great. Actually, I had very happy memories. But one thing I would say, even though my dad was a great man, I loved him, he was very, very abusive. And so I was conditioned, plus my dad, plus the way Lagos is set up, where everybody is abusing everybody and just volatile. I thought that was normal. So when I'm being emotionally abused, or sorry, verbally abused, I thought it was a normal thing in relationships. I didn't know that people are not supposed to say vile things to their partners. I saw it as normal because I grew up with it.
Mm. And you
So
told me when we were talking that sadly your parents passed where and you had
yes,
to assume the role of
yes,
literally parenting your siblings.
yes, yes. Well, first of all, my mom passed when I was 17, and that in itself is a whole story in itself. But this it's not relevant to this. And I do remember that at the time, how I would describe it was that the hedge of protection was broken, and the
Mm.
serpent came to bite me because now this is another thing, you know, because of the lack of education of mental health. I mean, at this time, I think even in the world globally, mental health was not something taken seriously. It was just ascribed to people who ended up in asylum. So at the time, obviously, through therapy, I was able to find out that had a mental breakdown because after not just losing my mom, I had friends who betrayed me, I had friends who bullied me, and I had my first heartbreak. So it really affected me psychologically, but I didn't know because, you know, normal Nigeria, you get on with it. Even when my mom died, the first thing they said, okay, you're a big girl, don't cry, get on with it, get on with it. So there was never time to grieve or process, you know, the emotions I was going through. I just had to get on with life. And then all these things that affect you emotionally, you know. So I'm just saying all these things were built up over time. And with all the prayer and all the church, I never had the opportunity to actually see these things and address them. I just took them as a way of life. Fast forward 10 years, and then I lost my dad. And I would say that this thing I did, I won't say I regret it, but if I had to rewind time, I won't do it again. I decided to take the responsibility of being a father and my mother to my five other siblings. I was only, I think, 24, 26 at this time, you know. So I took financial, emotional, everything, even though I was bucking under pressure, you know. And I was so frustrated. I was a very angry young woman, very angry, you know. But I'm just saying, these are the things that led up to
Yeah.
the breakdown that eventually happened and led me to my journey of healing.
Yeah. I want to unpick what you said about assuming the role of a carer or a parent in quote
Yes,
for your
yes,
siblings.
yes,
Because in Africa or in Nigeria, where we come from, this is always expected. Even when your
yes,
parents are alive, the senior ones are always like, oh, this is your junior one now, you are responsible for them.
yes,
If you come from a family that they are not so well to do, once they train you, they expect you to train everybody else. You are the
yes,
one that will pay their fees. You are the one that will do everything for them. You meet their financial needs, their emotional needs, everything. It's a very huge responsibility on somebody that is not even a parent yet. But
exactly.
it's something that is common in our culture. It is expected that your parents parent you and then you parent your siblings. Or in your own case, sadly, your parents died and you were expected to parent your siblings. But you
Yes.
said something easy. You said, in hindsight, you wouldn't do it again. Why did you
No,
say that?
because you cannot swim when you are carrying people, you will drown. And another important thing I want to say, a friend of mine whose mother was ill, she had a mental illness, so she was in a mental home, Life's Arrow in Abeokuta. He told me one thing. He said, easy, whatever you do in this life, as a woman, put yourself first. He said the women that are there are women who loved and never got the love back.
Got love
And
back.
women
Yeah.
who gave all, either they
Hmm.
took care of their siblings or took care of people and put themselves last. So those are the women that occupy that place. Say, please, easy, put yourself first. That's what he told me. But I wasn't able to process that because I felt like, oh, and I remember when I took this, because I had the option to come to the UK and start my master's. But I was like, oh no, I don't want to separate. I don't want to leave them. Oh, if I leave them, my aunties would turn them to slaves. Oh, this and that and this, And what I just found out was that, oh God, I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you were talking about parenting, you as a child, parenting other people, or being a
Yes,
young adult and parenting your siblings. And I was asking you why you said in hindsight you won't do it again. And that woman
yes,
said to you that, all the women that ended up in if you don't know what arrow is, so those of you who don't know, that Nigerian axis is a mental health hospital. And
yes,
it has a very negative, very negative stigma. They use it to insult people. Arrow. It's like going to a mental health hospital, but the way they say it is very nasty. Like you've lost your mind, you crazy person. You know,
yes. So I was saying that I had a choice to go on.
come to the
If
UK.
I'd come to the UK, done my master's, started working, I would have been stabilized myself enough to at least bring one or two people and say, okay, but at least I might even have time to even just process grieve on my own. But I
Yeah,
put the grieving behind and I
yeah, and just
prioritized.
moved on.
I prioritized everybody but myself. That's what I did.
Yeah,
That was the mistake. I
yeah,
prioritized everybody but myself, and everybody's okay but me,
yeah. It,
unfortunately.
it usually happens. This is what I found. When you carry people, especially siblings, if you are not careful, I think I did a video about this once upon a time. And those of you who follow me from way back in 2018 would have seen that video where I was talking about family and responsibility. If you are not careful, especially as a woman, when you carry too much family responsibility, those your family member can come up later on when you sacrifice your life for them. They will call you a witch if you are not careful. They will end up going to school, they will get married, they will settle, they will have their life, they will be educated. You will be the one that would have sacrificed your life, especially if you live in the diaspora and you are working and enslaving yourself, sending all that money to them.
Yes,
If you are not careful, you will become the sacrificial lamb who got
exactly.
nothing. And you know what? The worst part is that most of them are not even grateful.
Very true.
They are
Half of,
not.
half of the time is a thankless job.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
a
I,
thankless
I
job.
can't
Yeah.
forget how many times me and my siblings had disagreements and they abused me and called me, "You are old, go and marry." And I was like, wow.
These are the people you are paying their school
I'm
fees.
telling you. I was just like, thankfully, we all have a great relationship now. But,
Wow.
it was not worth it. I will not lie.
You are old, go and marry.
Yes, yes,
Right, let's move on easy. We have quite a lot to cover.
yes.
Then what happened? Let's get to how you got into this relationship and yeah.
Okay. So, why I had to go back and give like precedence was just to show the build up of how I was struggling with emotional and psychological problems unbeknownst to me. And
Yeah.
so about 2015, that's when I recalled that I had full blown depression, and I think I lost my job at the time. I went to my younger sibling had a child, and so I went all the way to the US to do a mugo.
Izzy, I remember when you told me this story, I laughed. I said, Izzy, you don't even have a child. How can somebody that don't have child do a mugo?
Exactly.
She went to do a mugo for her younger sister.
Hmm.
You know what? You have a good heart. That's what I can ascertain by talking to you. You have a very good heart. Your parents were not there, but you stepped in. It's not
Yes.
everybody that can do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people who have good hearts always end up being heartbroken because of the
Very
way
true.
people treat us. You understand? They
Yes.
take
Yes.
your good nature, your because I have a good heart as well. And I cannot tell you the number of times this my heart has a way of being mending. I don't know how God does it.
It's gracious. It says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall."
Yes, I'm telling
One of the
you.
beatitudes that covers us.
Yes,
So,
yes. Okay, you
so,
did a mugo.
so I did a mugo. So on coming back, I realized that the whole doing the Omugo now made me realize that my life was empty. Prior to that, I was having a good life. I had a good job, had a great social life. I didn't feel any void or gap. Yes, I might have been in dysfunctional relationships, but there was no need or desperation to be married.
This
But
was in Nigeria.
yes. So when I got back, I just saw that. Plus, when I came back, I lost my job. And I just said, my this was the second sibling, your second younger sibling has married and given birth, and I'm still here. We have to crank it up and find a husband. We have to find a husband. So I was dealing with, that and everything. And towards the end of the year, I mean, I'm sure people who live in Nigeria, we always get ready. Like in December, all the abroadians, the diasporan men are coming.
That's for
So,
coming home.
exactly. So you have to be ready, you look nice because, in the hopes that, one nice guy would, meet you, all those, I'll marry you and take you abroad, not knowing the suffering you go and suffer. You never know what you're going to go through because, all these funny pictures we paint in our head. So December was coming. I called my very good friend. I said, hey, babes, December is coming. We're in the same show. Let's get ready so that we'll meet someone, hopefully meet someone nice and everything. And it so happened that I did, or so I thought. I went to a very exclusive, high-end social club where the people who are members there are from supposedly wealthy. And that's where I met this young man, or man in short. I will say that he had a disability. I can't mention what the disability is, but he had a disability, And initially that was a deterrent, but he pursued me really hard, and I overlooked that. And to be fair, he's very good looking physically, and
you like
comes
fine
with
boys. You like fine boys, easy. All you women that like fine boys, and you can't resist a pretty boy.
He was fine. He had swag, but you see, the problem was that there were things that someone who is stable should do. When you meet a man, you vet, you ask questions, you do your due diligence, you investigate. But I, in my desperation to be married, I just shook my head inside the sand like ostrich. You shook your head in the sand, but your bum is outside. And I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to find out anything that would make me backtrack because I was full speed ahead. I wanted it to work. So things moved really quickly and I got pregnant. And
you fell pregnant.
I slipped and I fell pregnant.
You somersaulted into pregnancy. You somersaulted into pregnancy. Easy. Between the time you met this on 1 December and the time you somersaulted into pregnancy, how long was it? Tell us.
2 months.
Oh, Jesus. You somersaulted into pregnancy 2 months after meeting on 1 December.
2 months, 3 months, and boom, I somersaulted into pregnancy.
Okay.
And I was happy, and when I told him, he was happy. And so I was like, oh, finally, But not knowing to me that my nightmare was about to start. And just when I was busy celebrating the blessings God had given me, my girlfriend now sends me Google links. And I click on them. And then that's when my sandcastle started to crumble. I just realized that I was sold lies.
Right.
He told me he was only married once, and he married a foreigner and everything, and he had a child for her and everything. And he talked about this other Nigerian girl he married. No, he didn't say he married her, that he dated. And you know how when they want to paint a good picture of themselves, they will now demonize the woman. Oh, she used juju on me. She did this. She did that. Oh, my parents had to pray for me to be able to break the spell on me. This and that just made her look really terrible.
Yeah.
And I remember once that I saw a picture of both of them. It was somewhere hidden, like dusty, like. I was like, but women. Another thing I would say, women. There's a gift God gave us, intuition. Please don't play with that gift. Once you have that hunch, your hunch is telling you the truth. Don't shove it down. My intuition told me this is court marriage. And I took it to myself, what is this? And he said, oh, we went for a party. I was like, you're Muslim. This is like, she's wearing hats. This is not a party. But I
Mm.
wanted to believe it, so I believed it.
So your girlfriend showed you that he's been married. Apart
She,
from the one he told you, she showed you another one.
yes, she showed me a link. And in the link, I saw a picture of him and this girl that he said he did not marry.
So he's been married how many times altogether? You found out
Twice.
twice.
So he might, because
Okay,
her name was his last name. And
right.
I went to her, I said, you told me that you did not marry this girl. What other lies did you tell me? Oh, no. Still an elaborate story. But by then I was like, okay, obviously I now realized that I've been lied to. So there are more lies on earth. And so I went to investigate. I went to speak to some mutual friends that we knew. And I was like, oh, remember this guy you saw me with when we, Christmas parties and all those things? He said, yeah. I'm like, so what's his, what's the deal? What's the story? Just that one. Just chop his money and just go. It's not, don't take care. I'll be also knowing. I said, no. I said, okay, just make sure you're not pregnant. Just chop
Hey.
the money. I said,
Hmm.
They will not say, talked about the ex-wife, how they're always fighting, how there was always problem. And said, unfortunately now, the child picked up the disability. Ha!
Hmm.
It was like they poured cold water on my body.
Yeah.
My happiness just turned to sadness instantly. So I called my friend. I said, so you are following me up and down to be eating and painting Lagos red. All this while, occurred to you too. Of course, I have to give her the responsibility since I didn't want to do it myself as a good friend. I said, so what's other way? I'm pregnant. This is what I found out. That disability is hereditary. What if my
Hmm.
child has it? I said,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm going to go and get a D&C. So we went to the doctor, but I got there and I just thinking that at this my age, I will do
Hmm.
D&C. What will
Hmm.
happen? So I chickened out and I said, you know what? And of course, I spoke to one or two older people and they said, no, don't do that. You're too old for that. Have the child, don't worry. Your own will be different.
Hmm.
And so I took the risk. And I went ahead so I said, okay, now I'm pregnant. Let's go ahead and get married.
Yeah.
And then
And
stories started.
that's one thing I want to pause you here. Because you are pregnant for a guy doesn't mean that you have to marry them. Okay? Ladies, if you are listening, open your ears very well and listen. Because you are pregnant, if you are pregnant or you already have a child and you find out things that are inconsistent, there are some things that you can overlook. But if there are so many inconsistencies that you know that you've been lied to, and you know that this thing you're about to do is going to have long lasting impacts on your life, please don't take that move. You don't need to marry because you have a child or that you are pregnant. Okay, I know a lot of women always feel pressured and say, oh, I'm already pregnant, let me just marry, even though you can see the red flags. You were seeing it already because you've
Yes.
already seen the lies. You've already seen there's a disability that is hereditary. You've already seen that you were lied to about the number of wives, and I believe that number changed later on. So please do not marry because you are pregnant or you have a child already. Marriage is just going to make your suffering longer. Keep your baby, have your baby. Children are a blessing. First of all, try not to have a baby for a guy you met recently or you just
Yes.
meet. Somebody
Yes.
sent me an email and say, Auntie B, please do a video about red flag. That's number one red flag. Protect yourself, please. Don't get pregnant for somebody you just met. Don't let your pregnancy be accidental. Please
Yes.
plan it. Plan it. Because this pregnancy thing and having a baby for somebody you didn't plan has led many women into relationships that is more misery for them.
Yes.
Okay, I hope my point has been made about that. Okay, carry on, sweetie.
So I now went to that. It's okay because Auntie B, the truth of the matter was, shame.
Yeah, I
I
know.
did, you remember Easy? Did you
Mm,
hear that?
mhm.
So and so. So I
You
was
didn't
like,
marry
okay,
early, and now you are pregnant. Which
exactly.
year we hear that how do Yoruba say it? That you now got pregnant and you didn't even get pregnant again. Or you got pregnant and you didn't even marry the guy at your age.
Exactly. I just didn't want to be termed, Oma Sheo, that, or I didn't want to be termed unfortunate because they would say,
Yeah.
her father died, her mother died, she did this one, she got pregnant, they didn't marry her, she's a single mother, end of
Mhm.
story. Nobody cares. It's your life. Worried about what other people will say. We'll just put, at least they put me into soup. So I went ahead. I said, okay, oh, let's marry, you know, let's salvage this situation. And then, you know, we did the preliminary. He came with some siblings to see my family. And I remember he first met with my uncle. And after the meeting, they discussed the things for the introduction and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And they left. And my uncle did not call me back for another week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called him. I said, Uncle, how far now? This after we spoke, you know, he didn't say anything. He said, oh, mommy, just go and have your child there.
Mm-hmm.
Go and have your child. I said, Uncle, what do you mean? He said, when I was having that meeting with our family, ariwo and darkness,
Mm.
noise and darkness.
Mm.
Easy, don't do it.
Mm.
Go and have your child, take care of your child. I said, no, Uncle, will you tell that to your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to finish my life so that they will laugh at me. No, you know. He said, okay. You want it, no problem. We'll go ahead and do it.
So your uncle is not like a father to you because you know we are
Yes,
Africans and
yes,
you know babaku. All right. So he was like your father. He told you when you brought this man to him that he saw something spiritually that was like darkness in the family. And he said, go and have your child, but do not marry him. But because of already you are in your desperation mode now, and marry, all you could see was that day that you wear your wedding gown and be dancing to say, all of you that say, I will not marry, it remains sin. You start dancing and, you know, you didn't listen to that man. And I said to you when we we're talking that that man actually has the spirit of God because he saw it. Unfortunately, you couldn't reason with him because you were in your desperation mode, right?
yes.
Okay, let's
So,
fast get
so
on.
we,
Yeah.
you know, we went ahead, and then I came to move to the UK to have my baby, and then we decided to settle here. And that was when Mr. Mr. Beautiful, Mr. Handsome became Mr. Beast, and he, you know, just switched up on me and started to show the other side. But I was trapped. I was pregnant, you know, so I had to make it work. You know, when I'm complaining, people say, make it work. You know, well, everybody's marriage is perfect. Make it work, make it work. And I did. And that's when the domestic abuse started.
Started.
But it started with verbal and emotional abuse. Oh, aren't you lucky at your age? So at your age, you can give birth. You're lucky. You
How
know,
old were
for
you that is this at your age thing? Because I
30,
know that you are still young. This at your
35.
age. At your age. At
But
which age, eh,
but you see,
Joe?
that's what narcissists do. They look at you and find that's your weakness and start hitting it to break you down. Because for you to, you know, narcissists, they know that they're a scam. They know that if they show you their true selves, you will not like them. So they have to break you down and make you feel trapped so that you can't leave. And that's what
Hmm.
he just went on. He now brought out his tools and started dealing with me. You
Hmm.
know,
He
we
was the one that brought you here.
yes.
Okay.
So he, you know, he used all the techniques: isolation, separation, gaslighting, negging, attacking self-worth, attacking self-esteem. At your age, you know, you are happy that I rescued you. See, I left you out, brought you out from Buhari, Nigeria, brought you to the UK, this and that. Oh, you are now, you know, married to my family. Oh, this, oh, that. And in my mind, I'm like, uncle, you are going to give my own lineage that was free of disability. And
Hmm.
somehow you feel that you are better than sliced bread.
Hmm.
So, you know, and so from the
And there's something I want to bring out here without revealing too much because I know you don't want the disability to be disclosed. So
yes,
I'm mindful of that. You
yes,
said that there were things that could have helped his disability,
yes,
but because he was so proud, he refused to
yes,
engage in those, you know,
yes,
things like
yes,
technology that could have helped him
yes,
to be more, you know, to make it easy for him for you to engage and other people to engage with him. That
yes,
he refused completely, like, okay, deal with me the way I am, or you know, if you don't like me, go away.
exactly. Yes, so, you know,
I'm just wondering what that I couldn't, I didn't get my head around that. I couldn't. I just couldn't get my head because people with disability always want interventions, you know, solutions, technology, anything that can help them. to make their life easier. But you said he refused.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And another thing he does with his disability, he knows that people would be empaths would feel, empathy and kindness and excuse every bad behavior. Like, oh, oh, he has anger issues because of the disability. Oh, life has been unfair to him. He uses that as a decoy, but he has zero empathy, zero human emotions. All he does is uses people, including his own family. Everybody is a means to an end, and that's where it is. And but because of that disability, you will never imagine such a person. And I'll have to add that he's exceptionally charming. He will charm the pants out of you. Very charming. So that's another skill narcissists have.
So outside, people see him, they say, oh, this charming guy.
Oh,
Oh, if not for this disability, look how handsome he is. Hey.
when we're in Lagos, we go to Spa, go like, easy. Are you the one marrying this guy? Oh my God, take care of him. Oh, he's such a good man. Take care of him. Take care of him. Everywhere I go, you're the one. Oh, his ex was horrible. Oh, take care of him. Oh, he's a good man. So, you say what they're saying outside. You go inside there, they are giving you bulala. You be like, who are they seeing? What is going on?
They're giving you bulala.
Even in
Guys, if you don't know what bulala is, that's a very strong Hausa cane. It doesn't break. You see the northern part, that's where they have bulala. If you're in Nigeria, you know what bulala is. It's a long cane that is made up of skin, leather skin. It never breaks. That's what Izzy was collecting. Steady. Imagine.
So even in London, when we go, to shops, malls, they're like, you're the one married this man. Oh God, oh, take care of him. Yeah. So obviously, if there's any problem, you are the one because he's a nice guy. He's a sweet guy, So all the abuse now degenerated to physical. Even when I was pregnant, and but at the same time, he took care of me
Financially.
So, yes.
Okay.
I was somewhat pampered. So it would be like, the best way I can describe it is a revolving door. That's the best way I can describe it. One day he's sweet, the next day he's mad. One day is Dr. Jekyll, next day is Dr. Hyde. So that thing was messing up with my mind. So when another important point I wanted to point, when I came, I met his daughter. I had an adult daughter. And she saw me and she was looking at me very suspiciously. Because I think for her, she was like, what is this auntie doing here? Because, she's like, so my dad has gone to pull another one. So she started questioning me about things, and I guess she saw that, she said, so what are you doing here in London? Why did you stay in Nigeria? And I was offended, like, what is this girl questioning me? What do you, but it's because she knew things. She was like, she asked me a few questions, like, but in her mind, I think for her, she was like, auntie, you sound like you are sharp, but it's like you're not sharp. Because if you're really sharp, you will not fall for my father's corner. But anyway.
That's his daughter.
Yes. But she didn't say, she was just, she's an English girl. She was just looking at me, okay, no problem. Welcome. And so I remember one time he hit me and I was very upset. I was hysterical. And I called her and I said, look at what happened. Your dad hit me. She just quietly said, call the police. I was shocked. I said, at the point I was like, is this girl conspiring against me? Because, I was expecting Nigerian culture. Oh no, forgive him. This and that. She just said, call the police. I don't know what you're waiting for. Call the police. I said, So I kept quiet because, in Nigeria, you call police when there's like serious fights.
That's the thing I like about the children in this country. They do the right thing and they will tell you. They are not brought up in a hush-hush culture of covering abuse or violence. In school, they teach them how to call police. They even call police for their parents. So
yes. So that went on, and of course I didn't call the police because I think at the time I was even trying to process my papers. And and I remember when we went to see the lawyer, after she told us about the documents, she called me back and she said, your relationship is not going to, you guys are going to break up. I will advise you to file with your child. Okay, by then I'd given birth. And I said, and I remember my close family members told me, you don't need him to file with your child. And I was like, no, why would I do that? I want a family, this and that. Everybody kept quiet. And the woman told me straight up, you are going to come back and refile. You don't need him, because the way I see him, I can see problems already. But I didn't listen. These are professionals. I deal with women like you. So I see the signs. I see the signs. But I didn't listen to her because I believed that my own was going to be different.
Yeah.
And so after I gave birth, thankfully, they did the test. My child did not have the disability.
Hallelujah. That's a testimony there. I've been waiting for you to mention. I didn't want to mention it for you. She had a child, and to the glory of God, the child did not inherit that disability. The child was okay, or the child is okay, to the glory of God. Yeah, that's God. That's God giving you some payment back for all the good that you've sown. It's a
I,
God of
I,
justice.
I
Yeah.
strongly believe. But
Yeah.
it was like after I gave birth, I became nothing
Mm.
to him. He would look at me and say, your tummy is so big. Why do you have stretch mark? And I'm like, but you have children. Why is, And so he now started going after, I'm not meant to pride myself, but I used to have a banging body. I was known for my body.
You still have a banging body. I've seen your picture. I've not seen you in real life. By the way, I need to see you in real life. You need to come and join our UK group so that when we're
I
hanging
will.
out, you come. You still have a really bangy body. If you didn't tell me you have a child, I would not have known.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
you
Auntie
do.
V.
You do. You're
So
very pretty.
thank you, Auntie. So he just kept targeting, and until I left, I did not know how much damage he had done to my self-esteem. There were even incidences like, because we went back, we were going back and forth, and he always had this facade in front of my friends and everything. And then one day, my friend, somehow I left her out in the car to do something, and I was going to get money to give her to get a cab or something like that. So I said, okay, wait outside, I'm going to go and get money. And somehow I was delayed. And she came into the house like, what is so long to get money, It happened to be that the child monitor was downstairs, child monitor to hear the baby. And then she could hear us arguing. And she was like, what is going on? This man that, you know. And then she came down and he came down and he was startled that he saw her. And once he saw her, he was like, this girl has caught on to me. He now started targeting her. That's your friend. She's a bad friend. She's a bad friend. We'll have fight in the quiet of the house. He said, it's your friend. She's in her house or sleeping. No. She's the cause of it. She's sending spirits. That's why we're fighting. It's your friend. And that's another tactic they do. They like to isolate these people with sense around you so that they can deal with you. So I'm like, what do you mean? I will say I'm fortunate that God has blessed me with friends. So I was like, this girl, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't like her. She should not come to my house. She wants to break our marriage, this and that, Even with the gate man, he would just come up with stories. One day I told the gate man, oh, come and watch. I said, what did the gate man come to watch? Oh, you're sleeping with him now. Oh, that's what you do now. You sleep with gate man. Like derogatory things like I've never heard before. And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, the other day I found out the neighbor was my friend. Oh, so you knew since that the neighbor was your friend. So you've been sneaky to go and sleep with him. I'm like, why does he do this? Because that's what he does. Pardon my friend. He's a hoe. Everything he enters. And so he was projecting it on me so that I'll spend my energy trying to defend myself. I will not see that this is what this person is doing.
Right. Now, take us to the point now where the abuse became too much and how you finally left this relationship.
Okay. So I traveled with my daughter. I went back home. And I remember when I was traveling, let me just quickly mention this. My sister, God bless her soul, she's a prophetess. She was always telling me that, sis, this is not God's plan for you. One time she called, she said, do you have any money? I said, why? Please, do you think you can rent a place and go and stay with your daughter? I said, what do you mean? Oh, so you are happily married. You want to? She said,
You
no,
want to
no,
break
no.
my own? You want to break my own
Exactly.
marriage? Marriage that I saw very late in life, in my old age.
She said, no. So she backed out. So when I was going, she said, this trip you're making, God is going to open your eyes and He's going to unravel things. And I said, Okay, so I went, and the truth is, I found out some things about the family that I think at that point I was like, you know what, I'm done with this family. Like, it's not what I ordered and what I got
All that glitters is not gold,
is
my
exactly.
people. All
It's
that
like,
glitters.
you know, the scales were
Ìsàlẹ̀
falling off.
ọrọ̀ ó
Exactly.
lẹ́gbin. Ẹ̀gbin wà ń bẹ̀. Ẹ̀gbin ni. Not all, but in most cases, yeah, ìsàlẹ̀ ọrọ̀ ó lẹ́gbin.
So I came back, and I also want to also mention that during this time, somebody invited me for a program. I just want to mention how God, the Holy Spirit, walked with me through this journey, because without Him and the work I did, I would not be this easy speaking to you people. I would have been
Amen.
broken, so
Amen.
broken and bitter.
Amen.
And, and I went for this thing. And we always feel like, the strongest prophets are in Nigeria. And they're like, I just said, what are they rushing for? What is she going to say that they are that stronger prophets? But this woman just spoke that she just revealed my future. Basically, the journey. She said, you're going to pass through fire, but God is with you. And I remember I broke down and I was wailing with pain.
This
I
was
have
in
never
Nigeria.
wailed. This was in London. I have never wailed. I'm those kind of people that when they are praying in church and people fall down, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Is it only you, Holy Spirit touch? What kind of, why are you rolling?
Easy, you're very stubborn. You be rolling your eyes at them like,
I'll be rolling. Is it only
what's
you?
wrong with you? All the time you're falling like chicken.
But that day I fell down and I was weak because there was pain. There was so much pain, but I didn't want to address it. And so when I came back, my journey started. He abused me again. I packed my bags. I called my cousin. My cousin said they had a meeting in their family.
When you
said,
say he abused you, you need to be specific. What did he do?
He slapped me.
Okay.
And then I called my cousin and she said, come to my house. I said, actually, I'm coming to your house with my daughter. I packed a small box and I went to her house. And then she said, we discussed in my family, you're living with me. Call your lawyer. Tell them you're going to refile. This is, we cannot be here with you and they'll be doing this to you in this country. We are leaving. And so his brother came into town and came and saw that I was not there because they are used to it. Mm-hmm. Every woman that comes must leave.
Mm-hmm.
So he called me and said, sister, hey, no, don't be angry. Okay, I'll resolve it. This is one I keep reporting to. And I remember when I'll tell my sister, I went to report to him. My sister said, you better stop wasting your time. They are laughing at you. Your job in that family is to be a carer. You are nothing more than a carer. You are going to tell your enemy, they are not doing anything for you. And so he said, okay, come to the house, we'll resolve it. So I came back. But you see, God had already set the plan in motion. So this fateful day, there was an altercation. Something was missing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I saw, the brother talking to the daughter, and then I came, I said, what's going on? They said, so and so is missing. And he took it. And I said, I don't know him for having sticky fingers. I don't think he took it. I said, let me talk to him. But before I knew it, things were escalating. And, he was, like they say, let's just say he has anger issues. He doesn't have self-control. So he started shouting. He was very upset. He even got to go aggressive, like he wanted to beat his brother, his older brother. And I was like, what is going on? Like, no, calm down. So I came in between, pushed the brother into the room. I'm like, you get to calm down. Let me speak to him. And I went back to speak to him. And what did this man say? He said, oh, so you believe them? Mind you, I was the only one.
I was on his side.
And I said, of course not, Before I could say, this guy is muscular. Hey, he punched me. He punched my soul. He didn't punch my physique. He punched he said that
he punched your soul.
He punched my soul because when I fell down,
you felt it.
I said, if I stay any longer, I will break.
And you say he's big, so the punch was like Muhammad Ali hitting your soul from.
That thing entered my soul. I said, if I stay any longer, and I just want to point out he used to do this mind work on me. There was one time he was just disturbing me, winding me. I was so upset. I just went to the cupboard and I started pulling down bugs and breaking them. And my daughter was there and she was wailing. This kind of volatile situation. He was just dealing with me mentally. And, he punched. It was only I just said, if you don't, it was like my spirit said, if you don't leave, you will die. And so I screamed with everything in my soul. And I said, no, I won't take this anymore. I can't take that as a human being. Is it because I don't have father and mother? Don't do this to me. And the daughter saw the situation and grabbed my daughter and ran away. And so I ran, and I was calling her name, like, help me, like, you're witnessing this. And then the brother ran to me and grabbed my phone and said, you can't call the police. I said, what? I have been reporting to you this thing this guy does to me. He said, don't worry, we'll resolve it in the family. I said,
Yeah. The
I've been
brother said, don't call the police. You should resolve it within the
I
family.
said, you are this how many years now? Nothing has been done. No. Because I don't have father and brothers that'll come and fight for me. Don't treat me. No. This is not Nigeria. We're in the UK. There are laws. While he was in, the daughter just choked the house phone on me, poked it on my back.
This is his own daughter from
His own
another
daughter.
relationship.
Yes.
Another marriage, gave you a phone to call police.
Yes. And she just poked, I think she had even dialed the number. And I just, of course, I was hysterical. They knew that something had happened. And before I could blink, they appeared. As soon as they appeared and started questioning, the brother said, she's lying. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. The female, I think it was one female and two female police. The woman looked at, almost want to say, you are very stupid. She's like, look at her face. Because I had a split lip. My face was swollen. I said, look at her face. So nobody asked you. When it's time for your questioning, we'll call you.
Yeah. The brother was trying to defend him to say that you are lying.
So they called me, they put me aside for questioning, Of course, they needed to see witness. So they called the daughter and they said, what happened? She said, put off your camera and I'll tell you what happened. So she narrated everything. And to my shock, she said, he did the same thing to my mother. That was concrete evidence.
Wow. The daughter said her father did the same thing to her own mother. And she was giving evidence against her own father to the police. If your daughter can give evidence against you, my brother, you got issues. You need Jesus. You need counseling. Wow.
And so they, they removed him and the brother from the family. And they now said, okay, once they removed him, they now called him the next day. They said, look, let's tell you the truth. We will not be able to arrest him. Because of this is his disability, he's going to be very slippery. If we get a lawyer, we get an interpreter or whatever the person that they'll put there.
Yeah.
By the time we get to court, he can claim he never said all those things. And then the case will go dead. Yeah. So the best thing for you to do is go and get I can't remember what they call it here in the UK, but like a restraining order.
Restraining order, yeah. It's a restraining order.
They said, we're going to send you numbers of agencies. They're going to call you and then you start your journey. Now, I want to also mention something. In this whole situation, God sent people to me, positioned people in my life to help me make up my mind and come out at the time I came out. There was this lovely young lady, not young, she's like my, I met her and I would just say she was the only contrary voice. When everybody was giving me useless Nigerian advice, oh, so you want to leave? So you're going to have another child from another person. She would say, oh, so you want to do lottery again? You want to do Russian roulette and get pregnant again? What if the second child you give birth to it has the disability? Are you not happy that the first one, it's not to carry, they'll say, so you want to leave? Single mother. She'll say, babe, single mother is gold in this country, especially if you want to marry Oyinbo. You are ready-made family. So don't let anybody ever think you're anything less because you're a single mother.
I like what you said about useless Nigeria advice. And these are some of the useless Nigerian advice. You want to be a single mother. The fact that your lip is busted and that you are being beaten up regularly by this man, even with his disability, they didn't see it. All they care about is the freaking union that you must remain in until you die in it. Called marriage. Even a dysfunctional one at that.
So she told me one story prior to this incident. And when she told me the story, it was basically the same thing that happened. So when it happened, I knew that this was the beginning of the end. I just needed the courage to move, but the courage failed me. So they removed them from the property. They called me and said, okay, you can stay and he will not come back. Would you want that? I said, this family that I'm dealing with, They will sit on pot on my case. No, let me leave. And they
Right.
said, okay. But I know I was hesitant, Child services called.
You were still hesitant with everything.
I will say yes.
Yeah,
Even though
it's the conditioning.
yes.
It's the
Even
conditioning.
though I
Yeah,
knew that,
it's the
you
right
know,
thing. Yeah.
yes, but it was the fear of the unknown. And okay, another thing I wanted to say again is I learned that people who go through grief, there's something called separation anxiety.
Yeah.
People who have gone through grief and have never processed grief, every time it is your relationship has reached its expiry date and it's time for you to walk out, you ascribe that pain of separation as grief. Your body remembers it as the pain of losing a loved one. So to avoid that pain, you stay longer.
You stay. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that I'd noticed that. Of course, I didn't notice now that I noticed through therapy. But at the time, I knew that. I mean, that I was like the fear of the unknown. Like, okay, the time has come. I left a good life in Lagos. I've come here to start all over again with my daughter. So I was afraid. So agencies were calling. All of them were calling. I didn't really follow up. But God sent one paralegal 2 days before 2 days, almost on the 29th day after the incident, 28th day. She called me and she said, I can see that it's almost 30 days that this incident happened. I said, yeah. She said, once it passes 30 days, you're not going to have a strong case. She said, look, I understand what you're going through. I also suffered abuse. I came out of domestic abuse. Right now, I'm a paralegal. And she covers. We all know what happens in that community, So she said, and I'm here. Don't worry, I'll help you. I promise you. It's not going to be easy, but you will be better for it. I am going to fast track your appointment. Come and meet me so and so place. When I came to me, she just said, we're going to court tomorrow. We went to court. I got my thingy. She said, call your social worker. They have to remove you from that house today because the police had called and said, we can't keep him any longer from his property. He's coming back. And so that day, my social worker said, okay, when you get home, call me. I called, I said, I'm going to send you an address. Take a bus to this location. When you get there, because these addresses have to be covert. They can't allow people know that you're there, especially if you're an abuse victim.
Yeah.
And so I remember that, oh God, forgive me. I remember that day.
Lazy.
I
You're
packed
reliving
my
it all
I
over
carried my
again.
daughter. Yes. And I remember I was with my cousin on the phone. God bless everybody that stood with me. And it was like a 1-hour bus ride. And she was with me. And I said, what if they are rats? Silly beans. Oh, what if they are rats?
You are
I've never
living in
lived with
mansion
people.
to go to refuge.
Exactly. I've never lived with people. I came to London. Hey, I used to travel into London like a big girl. Hey, business class. Look at my life. What if they are this? She said, don't worry. Don't worry. Just go. We're with you.
It's better for you to sleep in a tiny room where there's no space for anything but one bed and a tiny wardrobe, and you have a good night's sleep, peaceful sleep, than sleeping in a mansion where you've almost lost your sanity, you've lost your peace, you are anxious, you don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. Never ever trade anything for your peace of mind and your safety. Ladies, gentlemen, never. It's not worth it.
And so I got there, and the place was so nice, and there were other women in my condition from other races, and
Yeah,
what you
background.
say,
Yeah,
abuse. It was
yeah.
our uniform language, and we'll hold each other and we'll cry.
Cry. Yeah.
I even became an interpreter for some of them. I was speaking to those who couldn't speak English. But in that our pain, we had community. Unfortunately, there was a young lady who couldn't cope.
She went back.
She went back.
Yeah, a lot of people go back. They are in refuge, fleeing from abuse, but they go back because of what you said now. Separation anxiety, codependency.
Yes.
And they just can't see any future without that person. They hope that it will get better, but it never does.
And so, the ball started rolling. They got me my DVV and everything, and then I was moved to a refuge. And I would say that was when my healing started. But it first started with the spiritual healing. Sometimes God has to pass us through the fire to hear him. or needs things to be quiet to hear him. And I would say that the spiritual encounters I had, because, and this is why any woman who is going through this, please don't be afraid, especially in the UK. God bless UK government.
Oh, UK is good. They
God
are good.
bless. Because if I was in Nigeria, maybe I would
Oh
be in
my
Arrow
God.
by now.
Oh my God. You will not leave. First of all, if you are in Nigeria, you will remain in that situation 30 years. Go and go and listen to Aduke's story. You will know what I mean. Okay? Because Nigeria will never support you to live an abusive situation. The community, your family, the church, everybody will tell you to stay. Now, so everybody they manage you. Now, won't talk you on. No. Now that they know. Just stay and manage until you will lose your sanity. So yeah, the UK is very, very good when
It's
it comes to
very,
things like that.
the resources, the help, the support. When they were even doing my assessment, that was where my education started. They'll say, does he do this? I say, yes. They said, that's emotional abuse. I say, so there's something like that. Does he do this? Yes. Verbal abuse. Really? Does he do this? Yes. Financial abuse. So there's financial abuse. Yes. Ha.
Oh my God, Izzy, you're so funny. There was something you said to me. Well done, my darling. Let me first congratulate you.
Thank
The
you.
way you've narrated this story, you've inspired so many people. People are laughing, you are crying, you are laughing, but you're passing a very, very strong message. So well done to you. Well done. I know it's not easy reliving this experience again, especially when you had to talk about the day that you left. It was
Yes.
very difficult for you.
Yes.
Belle.
So what I would say is that the refuge is such a great, it was like a cocoon. It was like God just slowed down time and said, because I mean, now I'm outside, I'm now having to deal with council, deal with the kind of things I'm dealing with. I'm like, I didn't know that I was in hotel, 5-star hotel there, because they take everything away from you so that you have time to heal.
Hmm.
They do everything for you because I will not lie, it wasn't easy when you call council, call this, call this. Those ones, they are just robots. Just their job is to be rejecting you. So imagine if going through trouble and they will say, no, we can't give you this. That's how you was like, my life is over. Oh, my enemies, oh, kiniko, kiniko. But they have a caseworker. People are doing things for you, so that you can have time to heal. Then, of course, the activities they do for the women, the activities they do for the children, especially, the things they did for us, I can't even afford it. They did so much for my daughter. God
Yeah, the UK
bless
is very good.
them. Oh, the UK is fantastic.
When it comes to dealing with, abusive people who've been through abuse, you see the problem. A lot of all these foreign countries that we live in, obodooyibo is good. Okay, my last story that I shared, everybody was telling me how America takes abuse very seriously. But the problem is that if you do not report it, then they can't do anything. A lot of our people do not report. They cover it, they lie, they safeguard the person that is even the abuser. So anywhere, I don't see anywhere in Obodo that they take abuse seriously. Oh. You guys, you don't want to know the abuse that is going on to our people. Yeah, I said I was going to do a separate video about this. Germany and Austria and Italy. The kind of abuse that is going on there at the moment. I can't even speak. But I hear people come to tell me that Germany take abuse very seriously. Austria take abuse very seriously, but our women will never, ever speak out. We hide and we cover the abusers because we want to remain married. We want to remain married, and in the so-called marriage that you stay over time, you know what happens. Yeah. Well done, Izzy. You've done
Thank
so
you, Auntie
well.
P.
So,
Let me just quickly say that UK does not play with vulnerable people. And you who is being abused, you are vulnerable. The biggest gift, I know some people take advantage of it, but if you have the brevity to walk away, at least you get your indefinite leave, if not anything.
yeah, we say it all the time here. Not only UK, anywhere abroad. The easiest way, if you are being abused, don't fake it. Too. I don't encourage women to fake abuse. Please do not fake it. But if you are being abused and you don't have papers, I've spoken about this woman in the US now that she's still there. Oh. She doesn't even reply my messages anymore. because the husband told her, and it's a pastor that is the husband though, he told her that if you report, I will tell them that you have no, I will not, you don't have paper, they will deport you and I will take your children. Instead of her to look for help, you know what she's doing? She's going around looking for other pastors that will help her. I tried. Even when I mentioned it on the show, other women came. We have a huge Nigeria population in Texas, Houston, and around that area in the US. But she's still there looking for pastors to help her. Ireo. So, my darling Izzy, before I share my link, I've already shared it briefly. For
Okay.
people to come and encourage and uplift you,
Okay.
yeah, summarize,
Okay.
being
So,
through this experience, where you
so
are today now, and what you're taking away from that.
okay. So a very key thing that I want to say while I was there, like I said, God. One thing the spiritual journey I went through, it wasn't like, oh, God said, God broke soul ties,
Hmm.
because God needed use. I remember my friend used to tell me when she said when I was going through this journey, she said, when you hit rock bottom, the only way is up.
Yep.
And I knew that I had hit, because I had come to the end of myself. And I said, I went to God. I said, God, I'm known as strong. I'm known as a fixer, but I am totally helpless.
Hmm.
Help me.
Hmm.
And so all my dreams, God started reminding. I was just in the dream. I'll see myself with someone I had a relationship with, and the first one I wake up, the only people say, break the soul tie.
Hmm.
Everybody I've dated in my life,
Hmm.
Holy Spirit, break the soul tie.
Yeah.
Then with him, dreams in different, I started learning about dreams, how to understand my dreams, break soul tie, break connection, break, because I am going to make you whole.
Yeah.
While I was
Yeah.
there, my daughter's care worker or health worker, she saw me, and that's why it's always good for people who work in social work, have empathy. If this woman did not have that compassion, because
Yeah.
if you see me, you will not know nothing happened to me. I
Mm-hmm.
was 110, wig on flick, eyelash on flick, full face of makeup, but me and my daughter would do to match. You will not even know that my head was not okay. I will
Mm-hmm.
be walking down the street, I'll be crying. I cannot count how many times I forgot me and lost property. We were friends. I was always
Hmm.
forgetting things. Always forgetting things in bus and train. That is how emotionally traumatized I was. So one day she
Yeah.
looked at me through my lashes. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, yes, I'm okay." She said, "You're not okay. I'm referring you to, I don't know what they call it, their community of everybody, so
Yeah.
that they can analyze you and figure out the treatment for you." And that's when I
Yeah.
got therapy.
Yeah.
And God
And
so
you.
gracious, I had 32 weeks of therapy.
Hmm.
And oh, it was the best thing. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my entire existence.
Hmm.
It was group therapy. There were
Mm-hmm.
women from different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
There were some women that did not talk until after the 16th week.
Hmm.
They just come and they sit down
Hmm.
and just listen,
Yeah.
because they had not processed. Some of them were still in the abuse.
Yeah.
They were still in the homes with the men.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think I'd gotten to that journey where I was ready to speak, and I learned so much. I remember one thing she said. She said, I think some of them were in relationship. She said, "I will not advise any of you to get into a relationship just yet." She said, "People who suffer abuse, either sexual or domestic, you people are like, you give out a scent. You are targets.
Hmm.
And don't tell any man your story. If you think you're going to tell him, he will pity you, say that's a lie. In short, once you tell him, you're giving him the playbook. Treat me like this. This is how I'm used to being treated." He said, "Don't share that you've been abused. Don't,
Yeah.
and don't be in a hurry to be in a relationship."
Yeah. And you said
Because,
that therapy unveiled a lot of things
yes,
for you, and you are all for therapy because he helped you, and that's why you are able to share your story. Psalm 51:17 says, for those of you who are Christians, I'm cognizant that it's not everybody that's a Christian here. When you were talking about how you were broken and breaking all those soul ties, it says that a broken and a contrite heart God will not despise.
yes,
Okay? You need to come to a place of brokenness whereby you are broken. You see that place where you go to, where you are saying, God, I'm the strong one. In my family, I'm the one carrying everybody, but I am helpless. I am broken. God, help me. That's a very powerful prayer. At that point, God steps in, because this is you surrendering
yes,
everything now, saying that I don't have any strength. I'm
yes,
only human. I've tried, I've done everything, it's not working. God, help me. That's a broken heart. God loves a broken heart. Because when we are not broken, there's pride. There's so much that we think we know, that we okay. I know this, I know that. I went to school and did this, I did that. But a broken and a contrite heart, God does not despise it. Yeah.
Okay, and so the therapy basically triggered my journey to self-discovery. And I went, and that's what my journey to, and that is why I'm able to come here and speak with some sort of strength.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
still healing. I
Yeah.
still go through therapy. Some of them, they are now unearthing events that happened in my childhood, helping me
Mm-hmm.
explain, because the way my brain is, I need to understand why things are the way they are. you
Yeah.
know I went to YouTube, I studied, even listening to anti-base channel, Obodoyinbo TV. I went, I was, that was the first time I even knew what narcissism was. I never knew what it meant before.
Yeah.
I started learning patterns in my relationship.
Yeah.
Because I'm the common denominator.
Yeah.
Why do I keep attracting this kind of people? Why do they
Yeah.
treat me like this? And I realized that because of, I've been conditioned to like guys who are safe, who are good, I will reject them. It's the one that will deal with me that I will
Yeah.
choke my
That
head
you
inside.
attract. Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
started learning, red flags. I started learning
Mm-hmm.
how to vet. I
Mm-hmm.
started learning how I went to study. I went
Mm-hmm.
to learn.
Hmm.
And at the time, to be honest, the last thing I wanted in my life was no man should come near me. I just I didn't want relationship. I didn't want, even when my friends were like, my husband is in town, you take care. I said, please don't be angry. I don't want to talk to any man. Please. They dealt with
Mm.
me this life. Please, please. Let me, all my life, my identity has been relationship. For once, let me find
Be
myself and love
me.
myself.
Let me just be me. Yeah.
Yes, let me have a relationship with myself. It's
Yeah.
enough. I've suffered, let me love. I need love. Easy needs love. Let me find myself, you know.
Hmm.
And as God will have it, the pandemic happened and God slowed down the whole world to wait for me. And, I continued my healing and I'm here. And we give
Well
God all
done.
the glory. I also want to say that the Holy Spirit ministered to me, I think at the beginning of 2020, he said, your healing is three-pronged. Why am I saying this? We Nigerians think church is everything or religion is everything. No, it's not. You have a responsibility for your healing. Prayer and fasting can give you enlightenment, but you have to do the work.
Yeah.
And the work also involves going to see, for some people, a therapist.
Yep.
There's no way you reach the age of 35, 40 that you have not been through trauma in your life.
Yeah.
We are all acting out one trauma or the other in our lives. And so he said, your healing is three-pronged. Your spirit or your soul, your
Mm-hmm.
mind, and your
Mm-hmm.
body. And he said,
Mm.
now it's time for your mind. And that was when I started going to learn about things, the power of the mind. So I bought a workbook on self-esteem. I bought from Amazon. I started doing the workbook. I said, oh, is this why I'm like this? Oh, is this? I went through a journey of self-discovery to find my, because you see, why did I do this work? For my daughter. I
Hmm.
said, this generational curse must break.
We must break it. Yeah. Your mother suffered abuse. Mm. You suffered. You said you have to put a stop to it. It's not going to happen to your child. Well done.
And so that's
Yeah.
pretty, in a nutshell, that's my story.
Thank you very much. Oh my God. What an amazing woman you are, Izzy.
Thank you, Auntie B.
You are so phenomenal. You are so phenomenal. I can't believe it because, I mean, with everything you've been through, standing and talking, and, the perspective that you have, been, you know where you did wrong. Like, for you to know that somebody has successfully been through something is for them to recognize this is the part I played in it. This is what I did wrong. This is what led me to where I am now. Oh my God. Easy, you are amazing. Trust me, you are.
Thank you, Auntie
And I
B.
believe that God has greater things in stock for you. And I believe that God is going to make you a voice.
Amen.
Yeah, God is going to make you a voice to the voiceless, a voice to speak out, an advocate to speak out. Not just based on your experience, based on so many things, your life as a whole, and our community where we come from. As Africans, Nigerians, all the things that we suppress, that we don't talk about because it's too ugly to talk about it. God is going to make you a voice. Trust me when I say that. Thank you so much for coming to share.
Thank you, Auntie B.
I appreciate you. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I
I
am.
know you cried a little. You cried there. You laughed. You cried. Everybody's enjoying your gist because you are. I said to you before, I say her. You are articulate. You are like a senator. Even
Amen.
the senator in our senate, that yeah house, they don't know how to. They can't even express themselves the way you are talking. Just look at you. Wow. Well done, my darling. It can only get better.
Yeah.
Adewale, what do you have to say? I'm sharing my link now.
Okay, good evening, Auntie B. How are
Good
you
evening,
doing?
my sweetie.
And good evening,
Yeah.
Mrs. Easy. So
Good evening.
I could really relate to her story because it's what I experienced as a child. So I'm
Hmm.
just going to give like a brief story of my mother.
Right.
So my mom was born in Oyo State, Otu to be exact, a village, and her mother, that's my paternal grandmother, died at a very young, when she was really young. So she never knew her mom. She was never raised. She raised herself because my grandfather, he so rest in peace, married another wife.
Hmm.
So he wasn't really concentrate. He didn't concentrate on the children of his late wife. So he only concentrated on the children of his current wife. So he
Yeah.
sent those ones to school while my mom and her own sisters had to raise themselves.
Hmm.
So my mom never had the father who really raised her.
Hmm.
So and one thing I always notice, like girls that don't have like good fathers who raise them, they tend to start looking for
A
father
father
figures
figure.
outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my mom left her village at a very young age. She came to Lagos when she was about 20, and she started working really young. And when I was 20, I didn't even know what I was doing. So she hustled and everything, and that's where she met my dad, and they got together, they got married, and right from when I could actually make a memory, I knew my mom and my dad always fought. That's just to
Hmm.
tell you how bad it was. Like there's some things my dad would just do, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense at a really young
Hmm.
age, but I can't see anything because, in Nigeria, most of us feared our parents. At least I did. I feared my dad a lot.
Yes. Yes.
I feared
Yes.
him a lot. So I couldn't really see anything. And that she has just been enduring. And there's always this thing she always tell us. She'd say, Ola ini mo ṣe dúró tí ò bá
Hmm.
jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ màá ti lọ. What that means is
Hmm.
she stayed because of us.
Yeah.
If we were
Yeah.
not there, she would have left. And
Hmm.
I used to tell my sister and I used to tell my brothers that if my mom leaves this place today, I can't blame her
Hmm.
because what she has taken, no
And you saw
woman.
it. You
I
experienced
saw it.
it.
Like I say to you today, what my mom has taken, I don't know
Hmm.
any woman who can take it.
Hmm.
I don't know what she has done. She's like my mom is like a very strong woman. Like
Is she still alive, your mom?
she's still alive. Like she's just a woman I
Wow.
respect a lot in my life. So
Hmm.
I mean, and I saw how her self-esteem was chipping away. Even the
Yeah.
other day, she had a problem with my dad. My dad did so. I don't want to like tell
They're
this
still
story. And
together, Adewale,
they're still there. They're still there because
till
the reason
today.
is because yeah, it's because actually that's my plan. Like once I
Hmm.
start, because I'm still going to school, so
Yeah.
my plan is once I start working, I'm going to move my mom out of the house. That's what I want to do. And
Just
I
take her
tell
to
her
take her, bring her abroad so that she will free your dad
that's
so he can marry more
exactly,
if he
exactly.
wants to.
That's my
Yeah.
plan. That's my dream.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
watched her self-esteem chipping away. Even when Mrs. Easy was crying, I saw my mom because that's how she cries. I mean, I
Hmm.
was talking to her the other day and she had another like very stupid issue my dad brought up and she started crying. I told her to do this. You know what
And
my mom
she's
said? My
remained in
mom
this
said,
marriage for how long?
I mean, I'm 26 now, so she has been there for almost close to 28 years now.
Oh
So
God.
she's still there.
Child.
I was telling her you don't have to do this. Like she's too old for this. You know what my mom said? My mom said, one igban. And my mom is actually 2 years older than my dad. But
Hmm.
I didn't even the first time I knew my mom was actually 2 years older than my dad. My dad was in primary school. We were asked to fill in the date of birth of our parents. And then
Yeah.
I went to my mom and she said yes, she's older than him. I was like, I know in Yoruba, when you're older than someone, we start using the plural
Eh.
pronouns like
Yeah.
o.
Yeah.
But my mom never used o with my dad. Like that's just to show how she really respected him because
Yeah.
he became her father in like
Yeah.
in that essence because she never had one. And I saw how her self-esteem. I mean, the other day I was talking to her and then I told her, You're not supposed to be doing this. Like you're too old. There's nothing is going to happen. There's nothing he's going to do." And she was like, "Whoa, Nigbani, what that means is he's not going to accept." And I was
Mm.
telling her, "What does that mean?" But
Mm-hmm.
I could understand her because she
Yeah.
has been dealing
Because
with this for
yeah,
years. And
this is
uh,
a culture. I know you know that
exactly,
Adewale. You are Yoruba,
I
so you
know.
know.
Yeah,
Women would
I know.
they will stay there. They say they are staying because of their children. Guess what? Your mom is even lucky to be alive. There are other women that have
That
died
that then it's
because they
just
are staying
I
for
know.
their
I heard a lot of
children.
stories.
Yeah,
Their children,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, you don't.
And then
If you leave an abusive relationship, it's not the end of the world. Please do not stay in an
it's not.
abusive relationship because
Don't stay.
torí àwọn
Don't
ọmọ,
stay.
and then
Your chi-
if you are
it's
not careful, you
it's not
start
for your
blaming the
children.
children for staying because you say I'm staying because of you. No, the children didn't ask you to stay. The
Exactly.
children are also suffering. They are also suffering. They
Yeah,
need
they are.
therapy.
They are. They are. They are. So I mean, she also used to see like she also said that and so that what are people going to
Oh,
say? That's what
that's the
she says that
yeah,
as well.
yeah. That's
She
what will
says
people
that
say.
as well. So
Mm.
yes, she says that as well. So I just told her that it's because I don't have like enough money. If I
Tell
did,
her
I
that
would
don't
have
worry,
just moved.
Adewale, you will get there. I see you. You are going places because you are such a very smart, intelligent, and right-thinking young man. Don't worry. Tell your mom that àwọn ayé wọn lẹ́nu wọn dẹ̀ lè lo ẹnu wọn anyhow tó bá wù wọ́n kó tó bá wù wọ́n ni kò
Anyhow,
sọ.
I
Anyhow,
told her that like those
they
people
can
don't
say
actually
whatever.
care
They have
about
a
her.
mouth. There's a reason why you have a mouth is to say whatever you like.
And CB,
You like
if you're worried about what they will say, when you die, they will talk about
They
you
will still
obituary.
talk.
So
When people
I
die,
told
they
her
come
the
for
same
funeral. They will
thing.
still gossip about the dead person.
exactly.
I told her the same thing, but she's just been there for so many years that she doesn't know anything other than abuse and suffering.
Abuse. Yeah.
I mean, this saddens me, but I like just to tell you how like like Mrs. Easy was telling her story, I could picture
You
myself
relate.
as a daughter
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
everything happen.
Thank God she's
Like
out.
watch,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
the
she's
difference
out.
between
She's
her and your
very
mom
very
now.
strong.
Your
Yeah,
mom
she's
is
that's
still
the
there.
difference. She's
Hmm.
still
And
there.
another,
So
okay, sorry.
so
No, please go on.
I really, really, I'm happy for Mrs. Easy because she took that initiative. My mom never did. And also,
Thank
what
you.
I also learned from her story is whenever you meet someone new, you need to ask them if they had previous relationships. You need to ask them about those relationships.
No,
And
it's
once
not
they
everybody
start
that tells the truth, my dear.
I mean, it's also going to come out sometimes. Once they start like saying things bad about that person, they never tell you the part they played in the relationship. That's a red
Mm.
flag. It's a
Thank you, my
big
love.
one. So yeah, so
You were going to say something to Adewale. Easy. I want you to say it before he
Oh,
yeah,
goes.
yeah, she went.
when he talked about his mom, I said it's codependency and Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
She's
Yes, it
just,
is.
it's what she's familiar with,
Yeah.
I know that. I know
unfortunately.
that. That's all she knows. So
But God would
I
protect
mean,
her, and hopefully you can bring her here and, let her
Yeah.
enjoy the remaining of her life.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
plans for her. I'm also grateful to God that she doesn't have like any illnesses and stuff. So
Thank God
she
she's in
Thank
Nigeria.
God.
for that.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
Nigeria has a lot of. I was talking about the stress bucket yesterday. Nigeria has a lot because the community is so open. There are different avenues where you can distress. They go to Uwambe, they go to church, they go to Asalatu, they go to other places, they visit family member. People visit them. But in the diaspora, you cannot take what women in Nigeria or
Yeah,
Africa take. Oh. Don't try it.
you
Mm.
can't. You can't.
Thank
You
you so
can't.
much, my
So
sweetheart.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I had to say. So
I
yeah.
appreciate you. Thank you so
Oh,
much, Adewale. Oh my God, such a smart young man. Wow. We have two young men on this platform, Adewale and Junior. Both of them are amazing. Alawumi, I've got you.
Hello, good evening, Auntie
Hello,
B.
Alawumi. Hello, you're welcome, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
What do you have to
And
say?
this is really a wonderful, yeah, this is really a wonderful topic tonight. Like, um, as I'm hearing this now, like, it's just making me remember my past relationship. This was like 2 years ago, And
Mm.
I never knew this guy was a narcissist. But hearing this lady's story now made me realize that I would have gotten into something really deep with a narcissist. And
Wow.
this was someone who, yeah, this was someone who I met on. Oh, apparently he met me on Facebook. He just sent like a friend request to me on Facebook, and then it became my friend. And the next thing he started proposing, relationship and marriage. I'm like, look, you don't expect me to jump into something just like that. I don't know you. You don't know me. And
Mm-hmm.
then apparently, and the guy is in the UK. I'm in Sweden, and then not knowing that this guy, we actually met at a party. We met at a party like at a family friends gathering in France like 7 years ago, and maybe this guy saw me, and then, just cut me from there. But I think at that time he was going through issues because he was married to a French woman. So I
Mm.
think at that time he was having issues with his wife and also maybe at the point when everything then dissolved and was ready to get someone, then he thought I was going to be the next. And I think somebody along the line must have told him, I have this family friend. I think we're in France together, that you could try her. And then that's how he picked me up on Facebook. But I think luckily for me, I'm just one person who I've never been desperate for anything.
Mm.
And and my instinct always tells me, when something is about to is about to go wrong and all.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I kept asking this guy questions. What happened to your wife? You kept saying nasty things about the wife. Have you got to France? Blah blah blah. In the long and short. To cut the story short, you know,
Yeah.
I, I got to find out that this guy was always abusing the wife, who was a white woman, and that one ran away and left him with a daughter. Did you get who
Yeah.
he was always abusing as well? And the daughter
Wow.
was, they separated. He and the daughter were separated for a very long time, and then she came back, at 20, and then, and he said, okay, that he was ready to settle down, and he wanted to settle down with me. But then I remember the first question he ever asked me, and he was like, so why aren't you married at your age?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait, do you think you're
What
trying to do me a
age?
favor by coming to take me up?
What age? What is it? Is there any age for marriage? What age?
And I'm like, how can that even be a question? Why would that be a question for you to ask for? Like, why am I
At
not
your
married
age?
at my
That's a red
age?
flag. Somebody's
Yeah,
asking you why
that
you not married
why
at your
my parents
age.
bothered.
You too. Why
Yeah,
have
that
you been
why my
married once
parents
at your age?
bothered about
Why are
me.
you already divorced at your
And I
age?
asked him
You can ask
exactly.
questions
Yeah, so
though.
I asked him,
Anybody can
so
ask tough
why didn't your
questions
marriage
though.
work?
If you ask stupid questions, I will return
And
it
I'm
with
like,
more stupid questions.
and that was the off point for me. I was like, what kind of question could that be? Like, are you trying to do me a favor or what? Did I come to you? It was you who came to me. So now I'm not listening to this woman. I'm like, oh, thank God I I didn't get involved with the narcissist. And the moment they asked me that question, I started losing confidence about myself that, oh, that maybe the only people that can ever get to, marry me,
Marry
have
you.
to marry me out of
They are
pity because
divorced.
I'm too old.
Yeah.
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 I don't know at what point, because I was already deep into this relationship, but I don't know at what point I said, you know what? I'm not the cause of your mental breakdown. I'm not the cause of your the fact that you lost your marriage or whatever. You cannot use
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You can't use me. And I told him, just get the hell out. And then he
Yeah.
kept on sending his family members to me, his daughter to beg. I'm like, look, don't you ever, ever,
Mm.
ever do that. And that was the
Yeah.
end.
Well done.
You
Yeah.
had a
If
Yeah,
healthy
somebody,
self-esteem.
yeah.
Thank God.
yes.
You had a
Yeah.
healthy
If somebody
self-esteem.
starts a
Yeah.
relationship by asking you why are you
Mm.
not married at your age, and this is somebody that is already married and divorced, ask them what broke your marriage? What did you
And
do?
divorce.
Auntie B, they asked me the question too now.
No, if somebody can have that courage to ask you why, because this is an insult. It's coming from a place, not a place of somebody who cares and loves you or want to. Okay, listen, a man can ask you a question and say, "Oh, what's your story?" Like ask it in a nice way.
Mm,
You know, I just want to get to know you. It's
exactly.
different from why you're not married at your age. That's an insult. What age? Is there an age for marriage? Eh? Oyibo people at
But
some
Auntie,
age they are
but
married
Auntie
three times
B,
already. I'm not
but
advocating
Auntie B,
that
if you're
too,
somebody who
but
has a
our
low,
people,
if you're somebody who has a low self-esteem, that
yeah,
question is enough
yeah,
to set you
to
into
make them feel
anything.
like
You get
okay, there's something
accept just
lacking.
anything.
Lawumi, I
Exactly.
understand you, Jare.
Exactly.
So you
And then
cut him off,
just one
right?
thing, because I cut him off completely. It's 2 years now,
Mhm.
and I cut him off completely. And he's
Good.
shocked that I could actually do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
just one thing that I like to add, I think I don't know how it is because I saw one of the comments from this guy called Olu, and was making it,
Don't talk
like
about
was a
him.
gender.
Don't please. Olawumi
Exactly.
Jotori Olorun.
So I'm trying to,
Don't go there. I saw it. I ignored
me,
it.
I'm just thinking
Oh
that I'm just thinking that could we give men, because I know that men to actually go
I've
through
asked
things,
them
that
to
could you
come a
give
million
men,
times. They don't want to come. I
platform
can't
to
be bothered.
share their stories.
You know what? Allow me.
Yes,
Oh,
I,
this is why
yes,
you
I
laugh.
see.
You laugh too much.
I'm sorry.
Why are you laughing? I'm trying to be serious. You're not making me serious.
I'm sorry, TV.
Look, I've told men many times to come. They are not willing to come. Okay. What am I going to do? I'm not going to drag them from their homes to come. One or two people will come at the comment section and say, men suffer too, men suffer too. Come and share your story. This is not about gender. It's about individual and their person. Well, I'm not interested. If you want to come, come. If you don't want to come, whatever. That's it. Thank you, my darling. Allow me. Let
Yeah,
me move on now.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Auntie B.
Auntie
Continue to
B,
All
enjoy
right,
your
yeah.
life, Jari. There's
Auntie
no
B,
age to marry.
Yes, Auntie B.
Auntie B, can I say
Mhm.
something quickly?
All right, yeah.
There's something called negging. It's a technique people use of the opposite sex. Basically, they give you underhanded comment like, this your head is big, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you have flat nyasho.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say, I know, growing up in Nigeria, everybody in house, one of the things you have to learn how to do is to be able to have sharp mouth and be able to
Yeah,
have thick skin. But in relationship, from what I've realized, that's what they like to use to cut you to size.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
small thing is like a rat biting your leg and blowing.
yeah,
They're chipping at your self-esteem. So
yeah,
when a man, just cut it, nip it in the bud. If
yeah.
you don't have any compliments to give me, please keep your mouth shut.
Shut it. Just shut it. Yeah.
No, no,
No, we
you
accept we
I'm
accept
joking. No,
insults. We
no.
accept insults. Somebody will be dating you or want to date you and be giving you insult already at the beginning of the relationship. Whether it's a man or a woman, I don't care. It is not acceptable. Okay? If it's acceptable in Nigeria that somebody will say, bring this your flat nyash here. You think we laugh it. You too, can you say, bring this your small banana here?
TV.
Easy. Leave me. I dey vex. Baby, are you here?
I
You know, anybody figure bad mouth too. So we
I
need
know
to
me.
respect one another. No
No,
baton.
I dey give them back to back.
No,
If
no,
you
no, no,
tell
no,
me,
no. Nobody's allowed to abuse anybody.
if you tell me say I
Some
get
people like to talk about the body parts of a woman. If we
exact
start talking about body parts, I want to duro. I'm a sign.
now, wow, easy, Con-
Yes, sis.
emancipation.
Everybody in the comment section don't scatter laugh, don't fool everywhere for there. No. Sorry, baby. Let me say this. You know, this act. What's the name of this girl? She's an actress in Hollywood. She actually said something. Mary Njoku. She said, I think it was when they were about to start this their Big Brother Nigeria, and one girl, one of the people that was going into the house, was being trolled so much because she has flat breast. Okay, and she wore this dress that was very very revealing. Women have different shapes of breast, okay? But Nigeria, unfortunately, there's a lot of trolling that goes on. And I must say that we women too, we need to learn to dress in a way that is appropriate for our body types,
Yeah,
okay? There are some clothes you shouldn't wear because of your body type. If you're rubber or skinny or you got this sort of body type, you shouldn't wear some dresses. But she did. She wore this dress that was very revealing, okay? Everywhere was open.
yeah.
And people started trolling her. And apparently, this girl has suffered from some mental health issues, which I really seriously questioned why they brought her to Big Brother, knowing that they're going to expose her and put her on the world stage. Nigeria is 200 and something million people, and a lot of them are not very kind with comments, okay? Instead of shutting up, they will say something nasty. So this Mary Njoku said, everybody is trolling this girl because her breast is flat. If they start to share the picture of, say, let's show banana. How many of you can stand? All of you that
All
are
of
talking.
them will
Can you
run.
stand? You
All of
run.
them will run.
How if you
Men,
start showing the size of banana, you now go run.
men do not take it easy when you
Eh?
judge a banana.
When you judge a banana,
They,
but you can judge somebody's breast and
they
yash.
don't. They don't. They don't
We
like
are
that.
going to we are going to equalize very soon. Anytime you judge somebody's breast and yash, we will judge your banana.
We're going
We
for
want to see
jugular.
the size.
Men don't like that kind of
Oh, they
thing.
will finish me for this one today. I don't care. Baby, sorry, my love. Let
It's
me allow
true.
you talk. Don't mind me.
I'm going to say I'm going to just talk on three things. About the judging of Nigerians. Before I used to think Nigerians are very reckless in talking, but I realized that when they feel oppressed by you in a certain way, or they feel insecure with you around, they try to when they say that they feel big, they try to
Mm.
cut you
Cut it to size, yes.
to the lowest minimum so that they feel better about
Yeah,
themselves.
about themselves.
Exactly. And when I realized that, I used to give it back to back. Once you give me one, I give you
These
10.
are people that don't have 3 square meals. You don't see
Of
anybody that
course.
is successful trolling people on social media. These
Once
are
I
people that don't have three. They live
yes, so
very poverty-stricken people that are talking. No,
yes. Once you give me one, I give you 10. Since then they will say, she's very rude. She thinks she's too this. I say it's okay.
they will
As
call
long
you feminists.
as long as I have peace in my mind,
People like
and
us now, they
and you are and
they see us and run. We are
your
the devil.
toxic
They resist
your
and they
toxic
will flee.
your toxic mess is within you, killing you. Is okay. Don't let it out to me. Let it kill you alone. Understand? But I just wanted to say easy. Congratulations on getting out of a bad situation.
Thank you.
It's just very evident, especially to Nigerian girls. They have to understand that sometimes being in Nigeria is better than being abroad. It's not
Yeah,
everything that is abroad. Sometimes you have so much peace in Nigeria. And you
yeah,
also have to realize that the standard of living is different. And it's also
yeah,
so expensive to live here. So
yeah,
imagine if you are alone, if you are battered mentally, emotionally, financially, and you are in a country that is so expensive to live in, how are you going to survive? You don't have anybody. A lot of them don't have paper. And you see, a lot of these people that do this, one thing I've come to realize, because over the years, I've lived in the US for a long time, and I've had different types of friends. I had a group of friends because I want to say something. These men or these people can be a woman too that can do this thing. Some of them have severe mental health issues that they hide,
yeah,
and
yeah,
some of them are
Yes.
just plain wicked.
yeah.
So there's this group of girls that we used to hang out with a long time ago, and they were not Nigerian, but they used to target rich African men, married or not. And I remember there was this particular girl. They were my much older sister's friends back then. And there was this particular girl that would come and boast. One day we saw her with a brand new BMW. What is going on? She says it's a Nigerian Mugu that got it for her. I say, wow. I say, really? They used to work in these high-end stores where they go and meet all these our politicians, useless people that will be giving them our money. So she had this one that used to live in the country and he used to work. And he would boast to her how his wife of maybe 10 or 12 years has been with him in this country. He has never gotten her paper. And their children are like 10 years old or something. And, he will boast about how if she needs to buy or even eat, she has to come to him. Work, she no get. Paper, she no get. And he used to beat and maltreat her. She even knew about all his girlfriends. And he was buying this brand new BMW. The wife at home has to beg to eat. So, I mean, some girls are very stupid. It makes them feel good. And that one really didn't care about him anyway. She just wanted to chop what she could and she go to the next maga. So, I mean, I'm just getting to the point that women have to come to a point where they have to realize that you may have children with this person, but that person doesn't like you,
Yeah,
doesn't love you, doesn't rate you, doesn't regard you as a human
yeah,
being.
yeah.
You are just a power trip for them,
Mm. Thank you so much,
you
baby.
know? So
Mm.
one has to really choose themselves and say,
Yeah, Love yourself. Choose yourself.
I
Yeah.
choose me.
Mm-hmm.
If I get into a covenant with this person and the person doesn't even treat me like I am a worthy human being. I mean, how you even treat a stranger, they don't even give you that regard.
Yeah.
Then you need to look at yourself and say, am I not worth more than this?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we all came to this life differently,
Oh yes.
different vehicles, but
Ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ láàrin wa.
like,
Ilé ayé la pàdé ara wa.
you
Mm.
die separately, and at the end,
Yes.
they will be forgotten. I guarantee
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
you, in 5 to 10 years, will be forgotten.
Agbára
So,
Ọlọ́run.
so, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to at least enjoy the little time that you have?
And make an impact.
Yes. Do you just want to enjoy yourself, have peace, and just enjoy some sweetness? No human being should be able to make this short life we have such a living hell like that.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Thank you so much, baby.
no problem, no
I
problem.
appreciate your contribution as always. Unfortunately, I need to move on because
Yes.
there are other people waiting in the comment section. Some people are asking me for the link. So, you know, when I finish the show, days later, people will still be calling me. Please, my people, if you are watching this later, if you don't see this live, if you look on the left side, there's a live and it shows the time as well. If you don't see, the show is not live. I know it's not everybody that is computer savvy, but please, people call me at 2 a.m. That show that you are doing, I want to contribute. I want to contribute. Thank God my phone is on silence. When I see the next day, I'm like, oh my God, that show was a month ago. So please, if it doesn't say live, it is not live. Please don't call me on WhatsApp. I beg you in the name of Jesus at midnight. Those of you live in Canada and the US, especially, if you want to be in the show, I don't have a phone number to call. Don't call my phone number if you already have it. It's a link, okay? Please click on the link in the comment section. You can't see it if you're on television, oh, my people. 10, I've got you.
Auntie B, can I say something quickly?
Yes, my dear, go on.
Another thing women should do is learn to hype yourself. I remember my friend used to do it. I was looking at her like, this one, you're not okay. But when I went through my journey and I was recovering, no. I'll look at myself in the mirror like, Omalicha.
Fine
Babe,
girl,
fine,
no
look at
pimple.
see shape. After having Chelsea Belle, figure 8. Hey,
Even if your belly no flat, hype yourself.
exactly. Hype yourself. Like
Even if your belly, look, see,
when I even meet people, I hype men to I have like
nobody can
babe
body
like
shame me.
Hey, God.
Especially somebody from another gender. You cannot shame me because you don't know my journey. You don't know what I've been through. Look, love yourself with all your curves, with all your stretch mark, everything. Love yourself. 10. Oh yeah, I got you, Jare. Let's move on very quickly. We're almost doing 2 hours now. We're about to end. Sister 10 or brother 10, unmute yourself. Okay, 10 is not coming on, so we're going to move on. I'm moving on straight to Dupe. Hello, Dupe.
Good evening, Sister B. How are you?
Good evening. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm fine, tired but fine. I managed. I
Oh,
managed to catch a live, whatever today.
yes,
I just,
yes.
I just barely go home halfway, and yeah,
Hey, yeah, Pele, I can
yeah,
imagine. You're a busy
yeah.
woman.
I know. And hi, Lizzie. Yes, thanks so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
There's quite a lot to learn from what you've shared. And yeah, there's quite a lot to learn from what you've shared. And I like the fact that you took us through your journey, although I was watching halfway, I joined halfway. But there were key things that you talked about. And I think in the morning on my way to work, Sis B, I have to be honest, I was watching your update. I didn't watch the video, but I
The
watched the
main
update
one.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I've not watched the main one yet. I've just been it's been crazy at work.
yeah.
Um, one thing that I picked up is you see you can't help somebody who is not ready,
Oh, yes.
and from all angle, you seem. I mean, I don't know what the story was at the beginning. Like I said, I didn't join it from the beginning, but I think at the point where you planned your route of escape, the fact that you were ready made it easier for you to access the help you got.
Yeah.
And I think for us African women, particularly, it's always a very difficult one because we have a culture of silence. And a lot do happen, and some people in some cases, they don't seek help until when things have gone really bad. Because I remember that I used to work in women's aid, and we had quite a lot of we had quite a lot of Africans who, you could see things, but then, they always kind of,
They
I
are not
think it's a case
corroborating
of they
it.
weren't
Yeah.
ready, if that makes
Yeah. They're
sense.
not corroborating it. They lie,
So
they
what you
cover up.
find out is some of them, yeah. I mean, there is a particular lady on top of my head. She ended up in a psychiatric hospital. She ended up being
Yeah.
sectioned,
Wow.
Oh yes.
and I
There are
can
many.
tell
Oh.
you because
African women are
I remember
many.
going there.
In
Yeah,
psychiatric
because I
hospital in
remember
this
going
UK.
there.
Okpo.
I remember going there. I was there last week for a different case entirely, for a parent of a different case entirely, and I was shocked to see that same lady. And this is me who left Women's Aid about 8 years ago. You know,
Wow.
so I don't know if it's a thing that she's been continuously there or if it's a case that she's been in and out. I mean, I don't know that. But one thing that I picked up is a lot of times, there's also that thing of, it brought me abroad. I've got to stay until I get my papers.
Yeah.
Okay. But there are different routes of getting your papers, particularly when abuse is going on. And I think it's always good to resound it into the ears of women and men. Because I know some
Yes.
people have been complaining that, men also get abused. Yes, we understand that. But in most cases, women tend to be the one who come out compared to the men. And for most women, they tend to stay in their abuse, particularly because of their papers, because of their immigration documentation. And you find that a lot of them stay there and things get really, really messy. Not necessarily for them alone, but for the child who is witnessing it. Because I'm a children social worker, and I know that a lot of children, when they grow old, they begin to manifest the adverse childhood trauma
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
again, reshapes them. And I remembered, just a little bit of digress to my own personal story. I remembered a few years ago, I think about 2, 3 years ago, I met somebody through a friend, through a mutual friend. And the guy, for whatever reason, in as much as I thought I was quite clued up streetwise, I met this guy, and the guy was really nice, and he talked the talk, right? But somewhere along the line, there's this thing about trusting your intuition. And everything was fine. I'd gone to Nigeria to meet him and stuff like that. And I'm quite on a big side. And I remember the guy said to me, "You too fat too." And that thing drove me bonkers. Like, he's good, he's a nice guy, he's everything you want for a guy. But the fact that, my body image was quite, like, in Nigeria, they're not kind the way they say things.
Mm-mm. They're not.
You know, he just said it. Like, it wasn't even the fact that he said it to me alone. Like, we're in a public place when he said what he said, and I didn't really mind, but it was just the fact that, how dare you? You know what I mean? And a lot of, and of course, we broke up and everything. But the point there is, to some people, they would accept it because they're desperate, right? They will accept those body shaming and stuff. And there are also languages that narcissists use. It
Yes.
could be in control of money, it could be in control of sex, it could be in control of anything. Because a narcissist cannot help themselves. They always want to be in control. And I think, aside from that, it's also the fact that, there are a lot of helps available, and it's just us having on the understanding. And I don't know, I think there was one thing I've noticed over here. A lot of our blacks, particularly our black community, we're not really clued up with information of support that is available. And I don't know, Sis B, if there's possibility, even if it's I don't know, because we have audience from different parts of the world, isn't it? Even if it's just a thing of maybe a general knowledge of telling people, okay, these are information that is available, and these are things these are pointers, because a lot of people, they come here, they actually suffer in silence. and they don't know the routes that can help them. And some people, we also have this thing of, if I leave, my family will say I came here, I came and got him into trouble. Because you hear that a lot from women, when they are, instead of them to flee, they're like, I don't want to leave, because if I leave, my family and his family will accuse me of getting him into trouble. But then the question I always ask people is, what is more important to you, your mental health or getting him into trouble? Because he also needs help. That's why he's doing what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, ignore my this thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I think you said quite a lot, and I think I can't overemphasize how educative this platform has been, particularly for us as Africans, because it's like giving us one voice, and we're all beginning to learn from each other's story. We're learning from our own lived experiences, and also it's also giving us an understanding of how to navigate information, because a lot of people information, I mean, I hate to admit, but most times people will say, if you don't want a black person to know something, write it in a book. There's nothing stopping us from accessing information. Google is our friend. Just Google it, and we'll learn a lot from it. So yeah, I can keep rambling and rambling and rambling, but yeah. So thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thanks a
sister.
lot, Dupe. Thank you so much. I know you are coming back. You are coming
Yeah,
back to talk to us, similar
yeah,
to
yeah,
what you just said now about your childhood
yeah,
experiences. A lot of people remember you from when you shared. Your story was explosive. Mm. Thank you. Thank you so
yeah.
much. I appreciate you always. I appreciate you, Dupe. Oh, yeah. We thank God. Okay, I've seen you all in the comment section. Those who are asking how to join, there's no phone number. It's just a link that we use. Oh my God, where is he gone to now? There's somebody I was going to bring next. Where is he? Uyi, what happened to your link? I can't find you. Can you come in? Uyi. Uyi has gone. No, Uyi was busy sending me private message here and apologizing on behalf of all his gender. Who you said, on behalf of all the responsible men, we say sorry for all you went through. Easy. Say short advice, hanging out with positive people a lot in Nigeria, in overseas. So, and those that, who you, where are you now? You here? Oh, okay. I've lost you. Okay. Come back, Uyi, okay? All right. NK, I got you. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Two minutes so that we can finish the vlog on time. The show is getting too long. It's almost 2 hours now.
Hi, Bridgie, Sister Bridgie,
Hello.
and
Hello, you're welcome.
yeah, hello, Lizzie. I
Hello.
don't want to take much of your time. I kind of felt emotional when you were telling your story, and I'm just gonna tell you that you've done the right thing, okay? And you were
Thank
so
you.
lucky. You had people around you. You had his daughter by your side. Yeah, so you've done the right thing. That's just what I'm going. Otherwise, it would have gone. It could have been worse. And that got me back to my own experience. I'm not going to go into the story because it's quite a lot, and it's going to take me to different areas. But
Hmm.
my, I didn't, I didn't act quickly. I didn't act. I was reluctant due to fear, like this kind of thing, family, letting my family down and stuff like that. And my child was still he was an infant at that time, so I actually didn't want to. But at a time, something happened. This man killed me. I died. I foamed through my mouth, and by God's grace, I woke up. I don't know what happened. I think he performed like CPR on me because by the
You died.
time,
You died.
She
sorry,
lost consciousness. Yes.
can you hear me?
Excuse me.
Yeah, we're hearing you. Yeah.
Yeah. So in my own case, so he actually killed me with his friend, and the police was at the
Hey.
door. The neighbors, yeah, the
Chineke.
neighbors, they had argument at a point. They stopped hearing the woman, so they must have suspected something must have happened to this woman. So they rang the police, and the police were at the door. And then him and his friends seeing the police, they I think that threw them into panic or something. So they tried to find a way to bring me back. Okay, luckily, I was lucky. I came back to life. But by the time I got back to life, I was foaming through my mouth. I noticed that I was foaming through my mouth, and they were not blood stain, foam stain thereof. So, and after that, I decided not to keep quiet anymore. So I had to report him. I had to, do the right thing and move away from that marriage. So I don't want you to feel alone. Whatever you felt you've gone through, just know some other people could have been worse. Just know that another
Yeah.
person, has sent it.
Yeah.
Don't think that maybe, oh, am I cursed or was that
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Don't feel that way. You are not. You are not.
Yeah.
Okay. Just stick to
Thank
God.
you.
Pray. God will be
Yeah.
with you.
How you
Okay.
doing yourself now, NK? How you doing?
So- Sorry.
I say, how you doing now yourself? Are you
Oh
okay?
yeah, I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with my child, and the man is an abuser. So I mean, because it was after that I now get to understand that he has a history of such thing. His last relation, he actually poured petrol on the woman. I wanted to lit her.
Wow.
Okay.
Ah,
Chineke.
I'm telling you.
Ooh,
So
you're lucky to be alive.
And the sad part, they will still find another woman. They will still
Yeah.
find someone else. That's the
Oh
sad,
yes.
it's
painful part.
Oh
more in
yes.
Nigeria. I don't know
Yeah.
how they are coping. So that
Yeah.
one is in Nigeria. So you never know. That one might just be like
Yeah. You'll
pretending or
find another
something like
person. Yeah. Even in the diaspora, they
yes,
always find people. Yeah.
yes, not sister like that. So I don't want to take too
Yeah.
long. I'll just leave it there. Someday maybe
Thank
I may
you.
share my story. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
That's
you.
okay. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. They always find people. Our sister in Ireland told us that the man that she used her hard earned money to bring to Ireland, did everything for. He now he's gallivanting with another woman. He will bring the woman when he's coming to see the kids to her house, drive and put the woman in the car. This is a man that almost ruined her life. Yeah, so they always find other victims, but they don't know they are victims yet until it happens to them. All right. Hello, Moyo. I've got you.
Hi, Auntie B. Good afternoon, ma. Thank you so much for having me.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
I'm a big fan of yours. You are an inspiration, actually. You inspire me to start a channel. So let me just put that out there.
Oh, that's good.
Hi. Hi,
You
Miss
know what?
Lizzie. Yes.
Yeah, well
Hello.
done.
Hi. Congratulations. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank
I'm a
you.
mental health nurse practitioner here in US. And listening to your story, I'm a bit emotional because I lost a friend last year to domestic violence. She left four children behind, small children. And the same thing that you were afraid of, what people will say, they kept telling her to stay so she won't be a single mother. But she ended up dying.
Wow.
And now there are four young children who
I'm
don't
so
have their mom.
sorry.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a
Oh,
mess,
it's
but
okay.
It's okay.
it's
It's
just so
fine.
difficult. So,
It's fine.
from a mental health perspective, you did everything that you were supposed to do, and you did it right. And
Thank you
you
so
didn't only
much.
do it for yourself, you did it for your daughter. Because if you have allowed her to grow up in that situation, not only will she allow men to do that to herself, to
Mhm.
her, she will think it was okay.
Yeah.
So you broke a generational curse.
Amen.
Amen.
And you prevented your daughter from going through her own trauma, because children who experience such thing go through their own struggle mentally. I always
Yeah.
say this when women come to me in my practice. If you take care of a mental health, not only protecting your own mental health, you're also protecting the mental health
The
of your
children.
children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because a child who witnessed a mother being beaten, being abused, being violated, will suffer low self-esteem,
Yeah.
Yes.
will
Yes.
suffer anxiety,
Yes.
will suffer depression, we have PTSD, we have
Mhm.
issues trusting men,
Yeah.
we have difficulty in relationship.
Oh yes.
Oh.
So thank you for
Um.
doing what you did,
And
for helping yourself, for helping your child. And again, congratulations for surviving. You're a
thank you.
survivor, you're not a victim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Can
thank
I say
you.
something quickly? All
Yes.
those symptoms you mentioned, I can't lie to you. I am dealing with them.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
takes
easy.
time.
Yes, and
It takes
for my
time.
daughter, every night I pray, say, God, please erase her memory.
Yeah.
Everything she
How old
witnessed,
is
please.
she?
She'll be 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's very
So
young.
if she start, yeah, she's
Thank God.
young to understand, but she may remember some
Remember, she have
things.
flashbacks.
I
Yeah.
pray because I
Yeah,
remembered
what
mine
I
when I
want
was
you to
5.
do though, I mean, this is not an advice, but I'm just saying, like, if you see anything that is pointing to her experiencing trauma, please
Yes.
don't hide.
So what
Take
do I do?
action. Take
Take her
action
to the doctor.
immediately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take
Okay.
her to the doctor. They will
Yeah,
refer
take
her
her
to
to a
a
pediatrician,
Okay.
and
child psychologist. Yeah.
yeah, or
Okay.
a
In the UK
psychologist.
here.
They will
Yeah.
direct you.
Yeah.
Don't think, oh, she's just a baby and all
No.
that. You
No.
need to take action because you don't want her to go through. I'm a nurse practitioner, like I said, mental health, and I work with children, and it breaks my heart what children go through, especially if they've suffered any type of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Thank
you
you
did the
so
right
much.
thing. You did
Thank
a,
Yeah.
you.
a good job. Thank you so much, Auntie B, for having me. God
You're
bless you, and God
welcome,
continue to
Moyo.
prosper your channel. Thank
Amen.
you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much, Moyo. Enjoy talking to you, and I'm so sorry that your friend had to stay till it was too late for her. Oh my God. Those are the stories we don't want. Those are the stories we don't want. And all of you brothers in the comment section that keep saying, what about men? What about men? Please, if you have a story, come and share it.
Hello?
All right? There's a lot of noise in your background. Mommy.
Mommy. Hello, Auntie
Mommy.
B.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
a lot of children there. Is it your
yes,
background?
my kids. Can you hear me?
No, not really, because of their screaming in the background. We hear you, but we also hear them. Yeah. Okay. Go on then. Let's see if
Okay,
it's
Auntie
better
B.
there.
I live in Canada. I'm from Ghana. I've been a very, very big fan of yours. I've just noticed about maybe a year ago your channel has taken a different direction, and I really appreciate that you're using your channel. I'm coming. You're using your channels to help other women who are going through all this abuse. I just want
Yeah.
to appreciate you and thank you a lot because I've been following you for like 3 years
Thank
plus.
you.
Every time I will look through other stories, but now the direction it's going, I really appreciate it. I
Thank
really
God.
enjoy your
Thank
channel.
God. Yeah.
And I want to
Trust
thank
God.
the sister
Hmm.
that is with you that had the courage to share her story as well. May God continue to bless you.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, man. Is that all you want to say?
Yeah, that's all I want to
Oh,
say. I
short
myself
and
have not
sweet.
been any abusive situation or
No,
no,
not
but
everybody.
like
Not everybody has
it's
been.
really good that you guys are sharing the story to help people when they go through abusive situation. They know how to do and see all the signs. I know
Yeah.
that you do the red flag for some other women to see red flag in women. It's really good. I want
Yeah.
to cut it short because my kids are coming
Yeah.
around and
You know
disturbing
these
me.
kids, eh? Thank you, mommy. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I appreciate you. You know these kids, they are like that. When they will be quiet, or once they see that you're on the phone, that's when they will not start making noise. Thank you so much, my darling. No, we never say that it's all women are experiencing, but thank God that we are the Sorosoke generation. If you are going through it, you don't need to live with it. It is not normal. Okay? It is not normal. Abuse. We want to say no to normalizing abuse. No. Don't live with abuse. The trauma is too much. So speak out, get help. That's all we are here for. And all you brothers in the comment section say, what about men? What about men? Please. Except you have been abused and you have a story to share. Okay? Then I don't know what you are saying about what about men? What about men? I've said it a million times. It's open. If you want to come and share, share. Okay? It's not a war of the sexes. This is not men against women. It's about specific individuals sharing their life experiences. And except you walked in their shoes and you want to come and tell us otherwise, then please allow people to share their experience in peace. Okay? Thank you. We have very lovely brothers here who support us. We know that. We don't hate brothers. We hate abuse and abusive people. All right? Socks, I've got you. Hello.
Auntie B, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you for having me on your show. I want to congratulate you and pray that the Almighty God continually to rest upon you. I've
Amen.
been following you for quite a while. I love your show, but I have to say congratulations to the lady.
Mm-hmm.
You are more than victorious.
Amen.
Thank you.
I just want to thank God for your courage.
Hmm.
I know a lot of us who listens to this show, but I want to give an example about what my mother did.
Hmm.
My mother was a victim of domestic violence by my father,
Hmm.
but we were very young to know that. We never noticed it. But when it was time for us to get married, my elder sister got married first. We had 3 girls. My mother called the husband to be and said, please, your father and your mother are still together. I don't want any man to lay hands on my daughter. So I was listening and I said, Mommy, why would you say that? He's a church man. My mother said, Soaks, stay out of this.
Hmm.
I don't want any man to touch my daughter. If she says anything or does anything, bring her to my house. My elder sister got married. They are married up until now, more than 15 years. When it
Mm-hmm.
was my time to get married, I wasn't there when my mother told my husband. He said, my daughter has a big mouth. She can be stubborn, but don't lay your hands on my daughter.
Hmm.
If you want anything or she does anything to you, bring her back and we'll return your bride price.
Hmm.
So my husband told me that, look at what your mother said. I was scared. I said, what did she say? She said, I should never lay hands on you. I
Hmm.
was like, for real? When my younger sister got married, my younger sister told me, do you know mommy said this to my husband? I said, wow. And up until date, we are all married
Hmm.
and we are still with our spouses. So I believe that mothers should always say that domestic violence is a no-no to their daughter. It's not a
Parents.
do or die affair.
Yeah.
I'm in
Parents.
Washington, D.C., and I
Yeah.
attended a program with Jesus House, D.C. A friend of mine invited me. And a lady came to minister and said, whenever her daughter runs back to her regarding domestic violence, she would tell the daughter, go back. We are from a Christian home.
Yeah.
What would they say to us? At the end of the day, the last call she got was from a police officer telling her, come and identify your
Yeah.
daughter, the corpse of your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I am a victim. I refuse to stand up because of what people will say. And
Yeah.
my daughter is no more. So I
Where are you from?
congratulate you for your
Socks.
boldness.
Socks, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? What country
Come
are you
again?
from?
I'm not hearing you, Auntie B.
Oh, sir. Socks, can you hear me?
No, you're kind of rambling.
Oh, I was just asking, what country are you from?
No, I'm from Nigeria. I'm from River State, Port Harcourt.
Okay, all right.
Then my
Mm-hmm.
mom is from Kogi State, married to a
Okay,
Rivers man. Yeah.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So I want to congratulate you for the boldness you took. I know a lot of people, and one thing you should do, if you know how to be a priest, pray. Forget about African churches because they will tell you to go back and they want to blame you. So be a
Mm-hmm.
priest, open the Bible and pray, and stay by your daughter and
Mm-hmm.
encourage your daughter, and you will see how life will come out so beautiful for you. Thank you,
Thank
MTB,
you.
for having me on this show.
Thank you
Bless you
so
all.
much, Socks. Thank you. Thank you so much. I believe you're a first-time caller, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a first-time caller.
And you are a brilliant caller. Please call in again.
And
Thank you so much.
another thing I have to say, I work for the Department of Health and Human Services in Maryland.
Yeah,
Information, like the other lady said, is very important.
yeah,
You can walk into any social service office. If you happen to see me, I'm somebody that I am an advocate for women. But if you
yeah,
don't see any other person, speak to somebody. Always speak
yeah,
to somebody. You are
yeah,
entitled to so many benefits that you may not even know.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Socks. I appreciate your call. I love my brilliant callers. You guys always bring it on 100%. You stick to the point and you just say it. 10, I added you before, but you didn't speak. We are rounding up now. We've done 2 hours. Time flies when we are doing these shows. Some people are still trying to get into the studio. Please, just, yeah. Can you speak?
Ah,
Uh,
I think I'm in now.
yeah, I can hear you now. 10. Go
Ah,
on.
good. Oh, hello. I just want to greet everybody. Thank you so much, Auntie B, for what you're doing for women. You do not believe what you're doing. I'm sure you're just thinking that you're doing a show, but you're just being a voice to the voiceless right now. There's a lot of
Thank God.
problems going on, and especially for us in the diaspora. Some
Yeah,
of us we've been separated from our network of strength.
yeah,
When you
yeah,
are in England or Canada or States, You're
Yeah.
away from your source of strength. You
Yeah.
are separated.
Yeah.
So these problems are becoming more and more common.
Yeah.
um I thank you. I think this is something that, I'm sure that God had to speak through you to bring out
Mm.
this show, because it's killing a lot of families, destroying a lot of families.
Yeah.
um I would also like to say to Sister Easy, you have just been so brave to come up and speak out. This is what a lot of women need to do, but unfortunately, not all of us are very brave.
Yeah.
I thank you for coming out and speaking out your story, because somebody is going to learn from it. We are
Yeah.
slowly learning,
Yeah.
even with these narcissism issues. We're
Yeah.
starting to hear it here in the diaspora. We don't know about this back home.
Yeah.
We just grow up seeing our parents maybe go through abuse, and we don't have a clue about anything about narcissism or these things that are starting to happen to us. And
Yeah.
everything comes from the foundation.
Yeah.
Every little thing that we're passing through is from the foundation. When we are being brought up, we see what our parents go through. We learn from observations. These are
Yeah.
things that we're starting to learn now. So this is why
Hmm.
it's so important to separate yourself from abusers, especially if you've got children, because they're just going to normalize what you're going through.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
cycle is just going to keep going,
Continue. Yeah.
continuing and continuing. So this is
Yeah.
so important. I think somebody else has said it, that okay, you're not just doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Especially when you have children, you're the last person to think about yourself. You think about your children first, because
Yeah.
they are just seeing what you're going through. They may act like they are okay, but children learn from observing. And once they've observed this, they're no longer normal. This is when they're actually being broken, when they're
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
And these people who now grow up and become narcissists themselves came
Yeah. And the
from
cycle
those
continues.
backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yes, they came from the and we look at them now and see how horrible they are, but really they are broken people.
Yeah. A
They
lot
are
of broken people in our
broken people.
society. Yeah.
Yes. And to them, they will never see what they're doing is wrong. They will never
No.
see it. So that's
Yeah.
why this is a huge, huge problem. Um, and I would also, I think when Sister Easy started speaking, she said that she was desperate. This is
Yeah.
the problem. When you're desperate, you're outside the will of God.
Hmm.
No
Preach.
matter no
Preach.
matter
When you are
what,
desperate, you are outside the will of
you are
God.
outside the will of God,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
whatever you're going to do, you haven't waited for God's voice.
Yeah.
You haven't meditated. If you're starting to date somebody, you have to start praying about it,
Yeah.
seeking God's
Yeah.
voice, hearing, okay,
Yeah.
God, is this the man you want for me? Show me
Yeah.
signs, and
Yeah. She
God will
knows.
show
The
you
thing I love about
signs.
Izzy is that she knew. She's aware of the mistakes she made. She's so aware. Therapy has helped her a lot. She's aware. She
That's the
knows.
thing. I think therapy will
Mhm.
help us. We don't know
Yeah.
about therapy as Africans.
Yeah.
We don't believe in therapy.
Yeah.
I think even Sister Easy said, we believe in prayer more. Yes, prayer
Yeah.
does help,
You
but it
can
does
do
not,
both. Yeah.
it does not give you therapy.
Yeah.
I can say yes. In other cases, prayers can be therapeutic, but
Yeah.
you need somebody else to direct you. God can only direct you to a certain extent.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my darling.
You,
Very lovely to have you. I appreciate your contribution. I need to move on quickly now because we still have a studio full of people. I've got IK. IK, hit me.
Hello,
Hello, IK.
can
Hello,
you
good evening.
can you hear me? Good
Yes, sir.
evening.
I can hear you.
Beautiful. I'm calling from Germany.
You're welcome, sir.
Please, could you have a section for men
Mm-hmm.
because we want to talk.
No man
I
wants to
personally
talk.
I
I've
want to talk.
invited them. Oh. Do you want to talk, brother IK?
Yes, yes, I want to
Okay.
talk.
Okay. I've asked men to come, they refuse to come. Or if you want to come, brother Ike, let me tell you what to do. It's
All right.
easy. My number is on the screen. Look at it, my WhatsApp number. Just contact me. This is where we arrange
Okay.
it. It's all done on WhatsApp. When you contact me, we'll have a chat about it, then we'll book
All
it.
right.
Because all these people you see coming on, we've already arranged it. So we arrange it ahead. So if you contact me, we'll have a chat and then we'll book a time for you to come. I'm grateful that you came on. Then you
I
can share
will.
your
I will
experience. You'll be
definitely.
the
Because
first man.
yes, we have to. We have to talk because we keep quiet a lot. I will
Yeah.
contact you. All right.
Okay.
Have a
All
nice
right.
day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother
You're
Ike.
welcome.
I've begged men to come. In fact, two men said, "Oh, they have come for where I've got so many women waiting. So if men don't want to come, what can you do? Okay, there's nothing you can do." And no, hello, sweetie.
Hi, Sister B. How are you?
I'm alright, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Well,
Okay.
it's about, I just want to say, well done for what you're doing, reaching out to a lot of women. The table has really turned over,
Thank
and I want
goodness.
to say, well done, well done.
Thank
I
you.
haven't, yeah, what I do, I just come in occasionally, I just see the headings, headlines. I tried once, but it wasn't possible. I haven't really heard this lady's story, but I have a clue what is going on. All
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I appreciate what everyone the advice.
Mm-hmm.
We come into this country. I came in as a married person, but
Mm-hmm.
however, I have a similar story because
Mm.
I got married to someone, a professional who knows everything and in intricate of what goes on. But however, the person actually abused me mentally,
Mm.
emotionally.
Mm.
I was so abused. This is a GP doctor. So
Mm.
abused
Oh
that
yes.
being a new person in the country, barely
Mm-hmm.
2 years, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have help. I wasn't allowed to make friends, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But because I was really aspiring, I had to register to do an adult education. I did it myself,
Mm-hmm.
registered to do an IT,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where I got the help. I had no clue because what happened, God put someone in place, a lady who's from, I'm a Nigerian, so God put that lady in place to help me. And then
Mm.
with my children, I have two kids, all right?
Yeah.
They were very little at the time. They're
Mm-hmm.
teenagers now. So, the people there in the creche, they trained so they
Mm-hmm.
could identify from how the children were behaving, how my daughter was behaving. And
Yeah.
that was where I had my help. I had
Yeah.
to flee. I didn't know. I had to
Mm.
flee to a refuge. So that is how I actually left the whole place, left the marriage, and since then, it's a history because I was accused about abduction. I was accused of so many things. But I just want to say to that sister, prayer leads. Yes, I want to advise. Yes, you do both pray and also
Mm-hmm.
seek help where you can. Because I personally, I know what prayer has done.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer is everything. It's ultimate because prayer would lead you to the right person to give you the advice. I was listening sometime to one of the sometime when he presented that a social worker came to support the children but didn't give the right, didn't know anything, but however someone else came and helped the person. So when you pray, God would direct you to the right person
Yeah.
to give you all the information you require. Prayer is everything.
Yeah.
God will direct you to the right person. God will direct you to where and where. I had no clue of what to do in
What
this country.
country do you live
I
in,
had
Eno?
nothing. Oh, sorry, I'm calling you from London.
Oh,
I
you're
live
in
here in
the
the
UK.
UK.
So
Yes.
it got picked up in school with the way your daughter was reacting. That's how your situation got
It was a crash. It
recognized.
wasn't really a school because she wasn't due to start school yet. She was barely
Yeah.
2 years. And my
Yeah.
son was just 1 year old or
Mm-hmm.
to 8 months old. So
Yeah.
it was all picked up in the crash whilst I was doing the IT, and it was all picked up there. So they had to call social services to come
Yeah.
and they did the necessary thing, and I couldn't leave, just to tell you the truth. I was hiding. I said, no, I don't want. I was protecting his job. Meanwhile, I wasn't working. I
Mm.
wasn't allowed to work. I
Yeah,
was
because as
protecting
a
his.
doctor, just one single report, and if you have evidence, he's a gunner. He will never practice again. They will
Exactly,
strike him off the register.
exactly.
He will never
But
practice again because, as a
here's
professional,
the thing.
especially somebody who works in healthcare, he's not allowed
Absolutely.
to do that. He's not.
But do you know what? That was used against me. That because I never said
You didn't report.
anything, and
Yeah,
he had such boldness, to say if there was anything happening in the house, why
he
didn't I
would have
call the police?
reported. Yeah,
Why
yeah,
didn't I report? But
yeah,
I just kept quiet because I didn't want to do that.
yeah,
So I just want
yeah,
to encourage that lady.
yeah,
Whatever help she has to go on her knees and ask the Lord to direct her to the right help she needs, the
yeah.
right
She's
people,
got the
because
help
they
by the
are the
grace of
right
God.
people.
Yeah, she's
Yes,
got the
so
help.
they
She's
are the
out.
right.
Yeah, she's out of that situation. She's in a good place. She's got counseling. She's good. Thank you very much, Eno. I appreciate you. So what I'm taking away from what Eno has said is that if you are going through abuse, whether you're a man or woman, please keep records, document, because evidence in this part of the world, if you don't have any evidence, it didn't happen. Okay, you need to have evidence. Please try to document, take pictures, write something down. This happened today. Have a diary, or just maybe if you have a trusted person that you can share with who is not going to judge you, just keep the record with them. If you're afraid that you don't want it to be found out, you need to have that evidence because otherwise, court doesn't go with word of mouth. Oh, he did it to me 10 years ago. Where's the evidence? If you cannot prove it, it didn't happen. Okay? Right. Joy, I've got you. We're winding down now. We've got Barry and we've got Solution Focus. Joy, are you here? Can you unmute yourself, please, so that we can round up quickly?
Yeah, hi, Auntie B.
Hello, sweetie.
Yeah, thank you for all you do. Sorry, I'm trying to get into the car. Real quick.
Do you want me to come back to you?
No, I think I'll be fine.
All right.
Okay. Oh, you can get it on the other side. Yes, Auntie B, thank you for all you do. I started listening to your program not long ago. I think about a month ago, and I've been following you. And you really do a great job
Thank
helping us
you.
out with this abusive men and all that is due to us. So you really do a great job. And
Thank you.
I wanted to encourage Easy. Easy, you're a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
You are very strong. It's not easy to fight this battle and be out alive. It's not easy. I was once a victim, and and I left too. I left, and my own was just because I just thank God. And my family was close, living in a different city. By the way, I'm calling from Texas. So my family was living in a different city, and they really helped me escape. It wasn't so easy. It wasn't
So
so
you have
easy.
family in the US?
Yes, that's
Okay.
just the thing that helped me. Otherwise, I would still be stuck there till date, if not for my family, because I didn't have anybody anywhere to go to, anything. My family was living in a different city, so they would come and visit, and you know how they are. He's always like against every member of my family. He doesn't want to see anybody close, and
Yeah.
me too will just
Separation is part of the tricks,
yes, and me too,
excluding you.
stupidly. Exactly. Will listen to him. I'll be looking for how to apply wisdom to mend relationship, not knowing what this man, who he is. Once I got to find out who he is, I was just praying in the midnight, and I was wondering, I'm like, what kind of a human being is this? What am I facing? And God just told me, check your Google, type abuse. And when I typed abuse, the first thing that came out was emotional abuse. I read all the symptoms, everything. I'm like, God, this is exactly what I'm going through.
Yeah, because
And
a
that was
lot of
how I
people
started
don't
making
even
research.
recognize abuse.
Yes, and that was how I started making research, learning about them, doing everything. From there, that was how I planned my escape. And that was how God saved me. That was how God saved me. See, today I separated, like, I think about more than a year ago. I think about a year and 2 months that I separated. So
Yeah.
It was just God. So I'm not divorced yet, but still separated, and I'm not
At least
returning
you are
back.
safe. You are
I've,
safe.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
healing myself.
Yeah.
And when I left, I didn't even know I was pregnant with my third child. And then
Mm.
I left. And then
Yeah.
I left, found out I was pregnant, had my baby, but still I haven't returned, and I'm not going back because I already know what all this is all about. So I want to encourage you, Izzy. You are a strong woman for living. And please, there's always this thing that want to make you return back. Please be strong and do not go back. Do not go back. So many women are afraid of divorcing or separating. They say it's not in the Bible, it's against Christianity. But God showed me somewhere in First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10 to 12.
Amen.
It says, I don't let me just go through it real quick, because you will never find out that there's something like this in the Bible except God reveals it to you. First Corinthians chapter 7,
Mm-hmm.
verse 10 to 12. When Paul was saying in the previous verses, when Paul was encouraging the previous verses, he would say that he was the one giving this suggestion. But when it came to verse 10, 11, and 12, it was like, and unto the married, I command you, yet not I, but the Lord. That means this is a commandment from the Lord. And it says,
Mm-hmm.
let not the wife depart from her husband. Now, this is the condition, verse 11. It says, but and if she
Mm-hmm.
depart. That means you are allowed to separate. That is the power God gave to a woman. You
Mm-hmm.
are allowed. It says,
Mm-hmm.
but and if. Then it
There is
says,
there, there is divorce in the Bible, please. People divorce in
yeah,
the Bible. People put away their wives, and wives left their husbands. So it's nothing new. It's just our
yeah,
African way, our
yeah,
interpretation over religiousness that we think we know more than the people that
uh-huh,
wrote the Bible. So yeah,
uh-huh,
abuse is not something that you should tolerate, whether you are male or female.
exactly.
If you are being abused, run, run.
Run, run for your life. Run,
Mm,
do not stay.
yeah,
And then it went on and says, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. So the commandment was solely on the man. Do
yeah,
not. And after that, verse 11, it was just full stop, no condition for the man. So, not you, women, you have the power to run away for your life. You have the power, run away for your life. You're not the one God is asking, do not. So when God showed me that, I'm like, okay, yes, I agree. I'm going to run. So I
yeah,
ran away for my life. So we should really be like, we should be alert, and we should learn, because if I hadn't researched, I probably wouldn't have been able to even go out.
yeah,
So, but because I was able to research more, learn more, I knew it was a dangerous situation that this man may never repent from. So God just helped me. So I want to encourage Izzy. I want to, and I want to say she's a very strong woman. Thank you,
thank
Auntie B,
you.
for having me. Thank you for
Thank
giving me this
you. Thank you,
opportunity to
Joy.
talk.
The joy of the Lord is your strength, my darling. You continue to go from strength to strength. The Lord will give you the strength to raise your children. If he's not abusive to the children, I always encourage women to open that door, allow him to see the children, except he's abusive towards them. Do not shut him away from his children if he's loving and caring towards them. And for those of you in the comment section that are busy debating about men and women, please, I have said it a million times here. If you have a story, come and share it. I am tired of repeating myself. I'm beginning to sound like a broken record about this. I can decide to make this a women only platform. Okay? They will not arrest me. Nobody will charge me to court for that. But I've chosen not to do that because I realize that this is not a gender fight. It's about individual experiences. Like Solution Focus will always say, we're here to support people. Please do not make it a gender issue. Those of you saying, oh, men to go through abuse, yeah, where are they? Let's see them. Do you know how many women we've had? We had over 30 women come here to share. Did we see a single man? No. What are we going to do? We'll go and drag them from their home to come and share? Please. That conversation, I find it upsetting. If you have a story to share, you are welcome. If you don't want to share, it's okay. We can't force people. Enough of that, please. Okay? Thank you very much. It's about the individuals and the support that is available. We are looking for solution. We don't care about that. Thank you. Barry, you're here.
Auntie, good afternoon.
Hello, you're a man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I finished ranting about men and I've got you.
Yeah. I know a lot of men, a couple of men have issues, but we still got good ones out there as well. So
Yeah, of course. Of
women, so don't
course.
give up on us, eh? We will not give
No,
up
we're
on
not
you.
giving up.
So
We're
I
not
will not
giving
give up
up.
on you. So I'll keep this very very short, because you're about to round up. This
Yeah.
is this is this is this is my guiding principle in when I'm relating with somebody, most especially the opposite sex, woman, girlfriend, fiance, all of the above. I do have a sister. I do
Yeah.
have a mother, and I will not treat another man's child the way I would not want another person to treat my sister. I do have three sisters. I have a 5-year old as well, and I would treat her properly, and I expect that if I'm going out with somebody, I know in my head that this is somebody else's child. I know that this is somebody else's daughter.
Yeah.
I will not treat that person any lesser than treating her. So any guy going physical, abusing a lady is it's really really sorry. I do apologize to the lady for what she experienced,
Yeah.
and I do hope that I just want her to let her know that there are good guys out there. Just in due time,
Yeah.
desperation at all has never solved anything, but
Yeah.
just some patience, and definitely God has something good lined up for you. That's
Amen.
all I have to say. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Are you the same Barry in Wisconsin? Close to Wisconsin?
Yes, Auntie B.
Oh,
This
you're a
is Mr. Barry.
sweetheart. You're a
No,
sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank
problem,
you.
Auntie.
I appreciate you. God bless you, my brother.
Take care.
Yeah. It starts from that point of view. He said, I have a sister and I wouldn't want her to be treated badly. That's where it starts from. He didn't come here being defensive. When people come here, whether you're a male or woman, you start being defensive. Olawumi, please stop it. Okay? When you come here and you start being defensive and telling stories that we don't know, focus on what we are discussing. All right? Nobody is saying that people. eh, I always say it here, abuse has no gender, right? But we are talking about easy today. If you want to go and bring your family member to come and share his story, I'm happy to give him the platform. Don't distract people by bringing stories that we don't know. Okay? Everybody is welcome. All right? Enough said. I like Barry. He's a sweet, sweet man. These are the kind of men that you should be looking out for, not Mongo Park. Solution focus. We are running up. Me and you. You know, you know we are.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Sister B, thank you so much for this platform. I can't thank you enough.
You always
I
thank me
myself,
every time. Is it every time you be thanking me?
yes. Are you kidding? Bless say you don't know the work when you did do. I have learned a
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
It has even called, it has made me reflect on some of those relationships I ran from.
Mm-hmm.
I ran from them. I didn't, you know how you just see something that just treat you just run and you don't look back. It
Mm-hmm.
just making me realize that this is why I was running. I didn't even know why I was running there, but most of the stuff that most of the stories I've heard have made it very clear to me, because any small sign I run. At a point I thought that I had the problem. I thought there was something wrong with me. Why do I
Yeah.
keep running? But because I sense the signal from afar, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and my mom always used to say, nobody, none of you should marry any man that would lay his hand on you. If
Amen.
any man lays his hand on you, pack your bags and
And
come
come home.
home.
Mm-hmm.
My mom said it to all of us, including the men. If you marry a woman that when
That
it pass
start
your
slapping
power,
you or
when it pass
insulting
your
you.
power,
Mm.
run, come back home. Not be by force, not be
Mm-hmm.
do or die. I beg, room still day for now. I remember her because she said before she married my dad, she told my dad that. She said, if you raise your hand, Pakam, I'm gone. Because
Yeah.
her grandmother told her. So it was something that was passed from generation to generation. So I
Amen.
don't put up with bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse the French. If I sense it, I run. I'm very proud of Lizzie coming out to share her experience. It takes a person with a lot of strength to be able to do that. It is
Amen.
not easy to come out and explain your situation to help people understand so that they will know what signs to look out for. It is not.
She
People
even
think it's
said it.
easy.
Solution for focus. When we were talking, yeah, you remember I always have a conversation with these ladies before we come here. I said, Izzy, why do you want to share this story? She said, Auntie B, there are too many women that are desperate. I was one of those women. I want them to learn from my. You think it's easy for a woman to come here and say I was desperate to get married? I met a man, and under 2 months I was pregnant. If a woman doesn't want to be pregnant, she will not be pregnant, though.
No, at
Because
all.
she got pregnant because she was not protecting herself, because she wanted, even they told her family members, say, don't marry. Somebody that stood in as her father say, I see darkness in this family. She says, because your children are married, you don't want me to marry. She said it. She recognizes her mistake. When a woman, any human being that can reflect and recognize this is where I went wrong, please respect
It's a
that person.
Honestly, that person is a person of integrity and character, because it's not easy. It's not everybody that reflects. It's
Mhm.
not everybody that can sit down and weigh their actions and say, "Oh, here's where I was wrong." Here,
She
many.
even said that she wanted to go and do D&C. Those of you don't know what D&C, she wanted to go and terminate it, the pregnancy. A woman, she went
Hello,
to the clinic to go and terminate, but she still convinced herself that no, I can't do this. She went
self-reflection.
back.
Self-reflection. I mean, there's a lot. I applaud her on every level. I applaud her because it's not an easy task to put yourself out there and explain everything that you've been through. It is not. And I love the fact that even in spite of everything, she even finds she's able to laugh. Do you know what it is to be able to laugh when you've been through some type of trauma? You
Mhm.
can't. Some people, laughter becomes very far from them.
Yeah, it's
Even when
therapy.
people are around them, yeah.
Expensive therapy.
Exactly, so I really applaud Lizzie. I give her all the kudos, man, that she deserves. She's a strong person, and the fact that she was bold enough to come out here and state and explain her story and tell her story in detail as much as she could, that alone already tells the kind of person she is, and
Yeah.
it is up from here for her, upwards from here for her. I'm really grateful for these stories because it helps one put things in perspective. It helps you recognize, for me personally, that I'm not crazy, because I've had instances where men will come to me and they've used all forms of tricks for me, like, oh, don't you know that when you get to this age you can't have children anymore? Look at you, you're getting old. I've heard it all. I have
Mm.
been mocked so much that the mockery bounces off. I don't even think about it. I don't worry about it. But again, not every woman will marry. It is
Hmm.
better for God to choose for you. As that woman rightly said, desperation automatically tells you you're out of the will of God. It is a fact. It is 100% fact. The moment you start, because you have to be at peace at every moment in your life. If
Mhm.
you're about to make a decision and a little thing causes you to lose sleep or makes you uncomfortable, look at that thing again. There's something you are missing. And as women and as men, I would say, a lot of times we miss it. Sometimes your parents will even tell you, don't go there. But because you are in love, you will go. People will tell you, these are the signs we see, you will still go. So we have to learn to recognize these signs and be able to stand, because there are people coming behind and they are looking up to you. They are looking up to me. They're trying to determine how they're going to make decisions for their life. If you entertain abuse, it will become a trend. It has to stop somewhere. We grew up in a society where abuse is celebrated. The longer
Yes,
you
so
stay in a marriage,
they tell you to live with it.
exactly. They say, oh, they've been
Mhm.
married for 50 years, but the woman received beating for
Like, yeah,
49.
you heard Adewale. Adewale said Adewale came here and talked about his own family, his own parents, his mom abusing, being abused and living with abuse since he was born, and she's still in it.
Can you imagine?
Is that a good testimony? She's
It's
still
not a
there.
good testimony, and the
It's
children
not.
can be affected. And if they don't take care of it early, it now becomes a circle, and then it now becomes a generational stronghold. It will now require a lot of breaking before you set yourself free. These little things that we ignore, that we think, oh, we can just ignore, they become chains for
Yeah.
tomorrow's generation. So we
Yeah.
have to be careful. It's not
Yeah.
love is not enough to sustain a marriage.
No
If
way.
you don't know a person well enough, if God has not given you the peace, the go ahead to be with another human being, there is no need to. I can boldly, as I stand here, I'm not a spring chicken, but I'm so every day because, and also because of I've been listening to your show, Sister B. I've been thanking my gratitude for God
Thank God
has.
for all the near misses.
Oh my God! I'm like God,
all the near,
please.
all the danger, stranger
All the
danger.
danger, red flag. They mean, wow, 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 wow. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
so I'm really, that's why I have to keep saying thank you, because you have to understand what you're doing for people and the
Thank you.
life that you're setting free. There are people who are about to make a decision right now, but
Mm-hmm.
they would have seen some signs, they will ignore it. But when
Yeah.
they hear it like that, they'll say, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, be like saying, I want chance, I want enter. Oh. I beg, I beg, I beg. I know do, make we hold.
I know
Make
do.
we hold for
Yeah,
6 months,
we must not celebrate abuse. No.
Exactly.
The
Let's not
fight is
celebrate
not
it.
against a gender. The fight is against abusive behavior.
That is
It's
it.
about
Man or woman.
trauma.
Man or woman.
Yeah, it's not again. That's why I keep saying it's not a feminist movement. It's not about women. It's just so it happened that it's only women we have, and we work with what we have. If a man doesn't come forward, are we not going to do the show? Are we not going to go and visit people who've
Exactly.
gone through experiences? You guys saw we've been to London Bridge, we've been to Birmingham, we're going to Germany. Germany is booked. We're going to Munich, and we're going to go to what's it called, Scotland. All this we're going to do. We're not waiting for anybody. If you want to join us, fine. If you're not joining us, it's okay. God is empowering us. The battle, the fight is not against any gender. It's about abuse. Teaching people to
Exactly.
flee abusive relationship, traumatic in a relationship that will diminish and break them down. That is what we are fighting
Exactly.
against. We don't
Exactly.
know the culture of saying, "Oh, live with it. Oh, this is what everybody's enduring. No, this is what your mother went through. Because your father went through it, your mother went through it, or your generation went through it, doesn't mean that you have to go through it. No, say no. Say no. This is
People.
Sorosoke generation.
So,
Let us
so
break this cycle of abuse.
yes, we have to, because too many women, we have presidents, we have people, transformational people that would have been on this earth to transform some of our sufferings, but they're in the grave today. All on top of marriage. There are women that could single-handedly change the situation of nations, but they're in the grave today because of the society of once you get to a certain age, marry. Oh, your eggs are getting old. Oh, if you don't do it by this time, it is over.
Do you
Who
know what I found?
says?
Let me tell you. I got a revelation this last weekend when we were in Birmingham. I met this amazing woman. Ha! You and Solution Focus, you and the girls, Common Sense Sisters always say it on this platform that it is not everybody that will marry. I got this revelation that
Yes,
it is possible to live a very fulfilled, happy life without marrying or having children.
I
An
tell you, Sister
impactful
B.
life. I met this lady that is so
Exactly.
amazing. I'm like, oh my God, she has
Yes,
joy. She's
yes,
impacting life. She's doing great and mighty things.
yes.
Irrespective of the abuse and everything she's been through, she is the one that is encouraging people now. So
See,
what are we talking about?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not by
Another thing
marriage.
that we are here to break is this our screwed mentality, African mentality that marry, 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 you must marry, you must marry. If marriage is
Exactly.
good, we are not condemning marriage, okay?
No,
But please, you need to have the right intention. You need to be in a good
exactly.
place. You need to take your time. You need to go into it for the right reason. A lot of people are marrying for the wrong reason.
Thank
Easy marriage
you.
because of age, because of pressure,
Exactly.
because of society, because of our younger sisters were married. That's not a good reason.
That's not a good reason. There's a story of someone I heard was a friend's friend. Had this, she was just like Easy's story. She was one that took care of all her siblings and everything, right? They were not putting pressure on her, marry. You know, this woman was so successful. She was a director in a company in Nigeria. They pushed this woman, push and she married. The man ain't beat and die.
Basically, they talk. The woman for Ireland follow up now. She they tell me say Auntie B. He says it's like this man came to change my destiny. The life I was living before is what he's living now. You know the one that married the broke man in Nigeria that brought him to
Yeah.
Ireland.
Yes.
Her story, victory. She said everything I was doing, my life where it was, I was very happy with my two children. Everything has reversed. Is the one that is living the life now, all because of pressure. Pay you're a single mother, you need to marry again.
Exactly.
She was happy.
Yes.
So these are the lessons we are trying to pass out for people that want to take it.
Exactly. For those who are, yeah, exactly. For those whose
It's
minds
not
are
for
open and
everybody.
are willing to take it, it is a
Yeah.
fact. Because you can. Marriage does not make you happy. Hello. It is God that makes you happy.
Oh
If you
yes.
don't know your source, if you do not know your source, you go marry, you go lonely for that marriage. It is just a fact. If you marry wrong. You go they experience hellfire before you reach the real one. I have seen it in the lives of people. So it is that they tell person. If God not dey marriage, if your source not put hand for your marriage, to hell with that person. Because if you marry the person when not God not put in hand, you go they blow hot and cold, hot until the hot burn the person. Now today we have lost so many women, lost lives that would have changed the course of this earth that we live in. But
Yeah.
no, society don't make sure say they destroy them. It's not be family,
No,
na
the African
society.
society will not be all society in
Not
Africa.
one.
You
Yeah.
see, MK Olu says, this is how I endured emotional abuse for 10 years, all because of what people will say. Now I am emotionally unhappy with myself.
Okay, take that. 10 years.
Huh?
You know how long it will take her to heal herself? It is the God that can give speed for healing. Do you
So
know
you
what
are not
10 years
alone.
of
Yeah.
investment is?
Yeah. You are not alone, my sister. You are not alone.
You are not
You are not
alone. You will
alone.
come out of it,
Mm.
though. You
Yeah.
will. You will find God will give you joy, will give you peace, as long as
Amen.
you're strong enough and you're holding on to Him. Hold on to your source. That is really where your joy lies. No human being can make you happy or give you joy. Only God can. Only your source can.
Let me tell you something again. Solution focus before we end. We are ending now, guys. I went to a convent for the first time in my life a few weeks ago. It's work related. And I went into this convent. It's a Catholic convent, or what they call it, monastery. I've
Yeah.
never entered a monastery. In fact, I've passed that place many times. I didn't
Yep.
even know it's a monastery because they have big gates there. So I didn't know that we have a client there, and I had to go and see her. And when I went in there, I saw the sisters. They were all dressed. You know, if you watch sisters act, this is
Yeah, I
exactly how
know.
they
I know
dress.
how they dress. Yeah.
And then we were talking. I was chatting to one of the sisters, and she said to me, she was very calm. Now, you both people, very calm. She was like, "Oh, we've been on lockdown all our life, and we absolutely love it. There's nothing out there for us. Our life is dedicated to serving our Lord. That place
Yes.
there, if pin drop for that place, you go hear her. That's how
Yep.
quiet it is.
Peace.
Even myself, come the fear to the match grant.
May your leg not make
May my
noise.
leg no go make noise for them. I
I
come
know.
dey when I ask them, I say, how long this woman don stay here? They say she don stay here over 40 years. She's in her 80s now, and she's lived a very peaceful life. She's
There you go.
dedicated her life to the service of God and
Of God.
humanity.
Yep.
Not be human being be that.
Yep.
Not be human being. So
Yep.
what will we say for ourselves if we never marry? Life never completes this. I dey look when I came out of that place, solution focus. I reflect. I no go lie you. I think I say, wow. I say, hey, all these people now, they don't just get worried. Some of them don't travel. When I was discussing one of the sister, he tell me, say, don't, he wear Nigerian, he get one Nigerian, one Catholic cloth they use, you know, when they do all this anniversary, the kind of Ankara they will sew. She said
Yeah.
she's been everywhere for missionary work. I say, you know, when the Apostle Paul said that if you don't have marriage or you don't have children or husband or wife,
Your
that you
attention
are
will be
free to
for
commit
God.
yourself to the things of God. I say, wow,
Absolutely.
this is
It is
what
so
it
true.
meant.
It is
I
so.
respected them. I say, wow.
Yes.
I
They
say,
are peaceful. They have peace that passes understanding. If they say picture of peace, that is the scenario right there. Because
Wow.
this peace, you cannot underestimate it. Oh. All this rush, they rush to make money, rush to marry, rush to children, rush. There's nowhere. Nature will answer to you in its time. You cannot expedite it. That is a fact. You can't. You can't even expedite riches. If it is not time for one to have money and the person has it, it will fly with like
So
wind. You go
it's
get.
understanding times and
That
seasons.
is the trick
Mm.
right there.
Because even the
When
Bible says so that for everything under the
there's a
sun, there is
time,
a time and there is a season. Oh my
yes.
God.
There is,
Wow.
there we go. That's a revelation right there. I'm telling
Wow.
you.
Wow.
If you don't understand it, right, you will just find yourself, you go be like, say, when they blow you everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And when they blow you like that, as a human being, you are reacting too, according to how the wind is blowing. But when you stand in the midst of that wind, they blow anyhow, but you not they affected, or more,
Mm.
you are in the most powerful place, and the peace and the goodness and the resources from heaven will be pursuing you.
Mm. Thank
It
you, my
took a while
God.
to get here,
Wow.
but when
Mm.
you do recognize, forget about what society. I went through a lot with my family. The 2 years I didn't talk to my parents because of marriage. Two
Mm.
years. They were
Because you didn't
harassing me. They say you
go
never
marry.
marry. Which kind pikin you be? Oh, if to say we know for not let you come America, you don't come America. Talk to another thing. Tell us you be lesbo. You now woman, you call a friend now. This one you know the hell, my pikin. I'm telling you.
Just because
I'm
you refuse to settle.
And all because it was the grace of God. I'm telling you. And God just surrounded me with the right people. And He gave me, when God creates you, He knows what He's put on the inside of you. I had no idea that I had strength until being strong was the only choice I had, because I said if
Mm.
I listen to my people, they would
You enter the
drive
wrong
me
one.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They will drive me crazy. I'm telling you. Now when they look at me, they're like, wow. My siblings, they tell me, oh, man, your strength not be here. We dobale for you. But it wasn't all my
How do you
doing.
just buy a house that the way they tell me say you are moving? You are
Exactly.
moving. You are
Oh
doing
my God.
things.
Yes,
You are doing biggest things as a
biggest
single woman,
things.
happily single.
Exactly. I
Mm.
dey live my life. I have
Wow.
peace. See the peace when I get. You see that post when you post, say, bless now me, because of me, you post that thing.
Really?
I read them, I say, hell, God, He reminded me, I just fell down on my knees. I said, God, thank you. I am grateful to you. Most of the people
Peace.
that got married, then they were all laughing, mocking, and everything. They are now all coming to me to seek advice. Come on.
No, now they will envy you because you are single while they are suffering. It's not all marriages that are bad, but if you
No,
rush
of
into
course
it, you're
not.
likely to make a mistake. Yeah. You're
Exactly. If
likely
you
to.
want to,
And you
there
see
are
the
people.
funny thing, what I see in
Mhm.
solution focus is that women, even when they know that is the wrong one, they will still want to enter
That is
just
the
because they want to
problem.
be married.
Yes, Mrs. That ring. And we are very good at posing for each other. We know we are very good for. Now they pose for each other, pass. We want shakara for ourselves, women to women. And after all, she's not married. You can't put the. It is typical. But we have
Mm.
to get past that. I have friends that are living their marriage. If you see their marriage, some of my siblings, you see that, you'll be like, you go marry, nah. You go be like, you go put
But
yourself
they
under
hungry
pressure
you.
because you
Yeah.
go be hungry you.
Because it
Why?
is sweet. Yeah.
Because it is sweet, because they
Yeah.
choose right, they choose correctly, they marry better people
For the right reason.
for
Yeah.
the right reasons. So waiting with
Mm.
they talk. We need
Thank
to get
you.
past it, and that's why I'm grateful for your platform, Sister
Thank
B.
you.
Please let me continue to say thank you, and don't be tired of hearing it, because
Thank
you are
you.
doing a job of, you don't understand. It's like you came, God just
You tell me,
raised
say,
you.
now God work you they do. Oh. That's what you
Ah,
always tell me. Say, now God,
yes,
you say
now
you be
God.
women leader.
Yes, you be women leader, because God raised you in this
Oh my yeah,
generation
you gonna kill
to
me. I say
help
only
us.
me, all
No,
this title.
No, it's true. You accept the title because guess what? You know how many you say not only you be the woman when get platform. You not be the only one. Why be saying now you God choose to do this kind of work?
I
You know
don't
they have to
know.
get that
I
question.
don't know. I don't just know.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Why?
just good.
Because you know, say you get the capacity to do them, and you know the
Yeah.
life when go they changed
Yeah.
because of you, and the destinies that we transform. Then
We
make I,
thank God.
oh no,
We
we thank
thank
God
God.
for you. I love you. I love you. I
I
love
love
you
you,
over and
sweetie.
over again. And people, be come up like this video. Eh? I go enter Oyibo platform. Pack, pack, pack. They are this in the go. You just see Oyibo. They like. If you do anyhow, they go drag you. Come up for the comment section. Why we they drag our leg? Let's support, please.
Yeah.
Let's help
Thank
this
you.
sister out and take
Yeah.
her to the next level. Won't we want to see her at the top? Me, I want to see her at the top. Oh,
God is
this
good.
one, eh?
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
love
so
you,
much. Love you.
Lizzie. Lizzie,
Love
you are
you.
blessed. Everything about you is blessed. You are strong. You will come out on top. Forward
Amen.
ever, backward
Backward,
never.
never. Yeah.
Love
Thank
you.
you. Love you too. Amaya, aka Solution Focus. Thank you. Akashi, you say you are here. Come now. I dey wait for you. You don't disappear. Oh yeah, come. The link is in the comment section. Click on it and come. Make I come hear what you want talk. You say you will call me back that day. You no call me back. Oh yeah. Click make we hear because we don't now 3 hours we don't do. No joke. Now so this gist go just dey flow before you know time don't go. Akashi, you don't see the link in the comment section. Click on am. I don't share am again. I won't end now, but make I add you because you be blood. Ah, you see, you are here. Hey, whoa, it's only Akashi I was waiting for. Akashi, if you dey hear me, come on. Add me. Isi, sweetie, you're here.
Hello, Auntie B. Good
Hello,
evening.
darling. How are you?
Th- I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much. Just a quick one. Thank you. I won't take much of your time. I know you're rounding up.
Okay.
Sister Easy, thank you for sharing your story. I've really learned a lot, and I believe every other many people too have learned a lot. And to be, I don't know, there are children too who are abused in the name of discipline by parents.
Mm-hmm.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
African parents where they discipline their children
Yeah.
all in the name of discipline. You
Yeah.
flog, you use belts and all that. And in the long run, you see these children, they grow up and they become like it affects them
Yeah.
emotionally in
Yeah.
different form. I think this is another angle we need to look at. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can
Yeah. Child
bring that
abuse. Yeah.
in. Yes,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
No
I just
worries.
want to mention that
Yeah.
and to
Thank
be
you. Thank you, Izzy. Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much, my darling. Thank you for everything you are doing in the German group. Oh, Izzy, I can't thank you enough. You are so wonderful. This
thank you,
woman,
Auntie B.
she can run a country. People should remove Buhari and put Izzy. If you see is this, she's so organized. I've never seen everything. Papa, she don't do 'em. And she keeps giving me feedback. Oh, I love you, Izzy. Thank you so much, my darling. Yeah,
Thank you
we'll
for the
touch on that.
opportunity, Auntie B.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. Abuse in our community is normalized, and na small we go dey talk am. Now today is generations and generations of things that happened that we need to start unpicking it. That's why I get so mad when people start bringing gender into it. This is not about any gender. It's about saying no to living with abusive relationship and living it with abuse. Nobody, nobody. Like I said, I'm going to bring. I thank God that you brought that up. Easy. Next week, please be here. Okay, I'm bringing a woman here who is going to talk about how the husband suffered so much abuse in his childhood and that has manifested and how that has manifested now in his adult life is serious. So yeah, we'll touch on it that day very critically about what you said about all this so-called discipline, the way some parents treat their children in Africa or step parents and or whatnot. So we're gonna draw the curtains here tonight. Akashi, you didn't come back. I don't wait for you, Taya. Maybe another one there. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. Easy. I know you are out of the studio now, but you can hear me. I want to again say a massive thank you to you You are a very strong woman. You are a powerful woman. God has given you intellect. He's giving you beauty. He's giving you so much. Unfortunately, that's just it's just a segment of your life. But the rest of your life it lies ahead of you. And what I want to tell you is that this is your ministry, okay? You have the voice and you've got to use it. God has chosen you to be an advocate, to speak out against abuse. Because of your experience now, you have a message. And you also will go out there now and print that message and tell people you don't need to live with abuse. It is not right for you to be slapped around, for you to tolerate abuse because, it's the culture, it's the religion or whatever. So that's your message. Yeah? That's your message. Easy. Ah. Inky, you've been there from the beginning, Abby. You say the first day I watched Bridget years ago, I said to myself, this woman is my person, instant connection, not be today. Oh. But you've not joined our UK group, oh. So we're waiting for you to come and join so that you start following us to do the job. Look, UK people, other countries are shaming you. Oh. Canada, 50 people. Even Germany has 20 people in the group. UK, if you're in the UK, you need to come and join our support group. We have support. So far we have support group for Germany, we have for Scotland, we have for England, we have for where do we have for again? Which one do I remember now? Yeah, we have for so many places. So if you live in England, you want to join our support group, please. We're not doing it by tribal or by country where you come from. Is Obodo support. Basically, this group are for support for people who have, who we need help for in that country. So if you live in anywhere in the diaspora, my WhatsApp is always on full display. Reach out to me. I will add you. All you need to just do is send me a message and say, my name is so, I live in so, add me to the group. That's it. And they are planning big things now by the grace of God. We are planning big things by the grace of God. It will all unfold. Everything will come to fruition in time. So don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say, Auntie B, you didn't tell us. I'm telling you now. Okay? When we start doing all the jollification, meeting up, don't say I didn't tell you. Make sure you join. Send me a message. And of course, most importantly, you don't need to live in abusive relationship. We grew up in a culture where they tell us abuse is normal. It is not. We do not want to normalize abuse anymore. This is a Sorosoke generation. If you are going through abuse, you've been traumatized by childhood experiences, whatever it is you are going through, please speak up. Seek help. That's what we're here for. There are always people willing to help. Obodo people are so kind, they are so generous, they are so supportive. You do not need to live and die in an abusive relationship. Reach out to me on WhatsApp. I prefer WhatsApp. My number is on the screen and we will take it from here. And for that brother who said he wants to come, is a day that I'm looking forward to it. Brother, brother, please contact me. We move. Yes, we move. Thank you very much for tonight. I am back. It's a bank holiday weekend, so we have a show on Sunday. Yeah, so I'm back this Sunday. Yeah, so keep it locked down. Subscribe, like, and give this video a thumbs up, and I will speak to you in my next one. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good evening. I love you. Bye-bye. Yeah, please give this video a thumbs up. Like the video. Like before you go. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. We are going to bed now. It's past 10 o'clock in the UK, so we are going to go to bed because we got work tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. Love you guys. Bye-bye. 7 p.m. on Sunday night. See you again. Bye.